What's up, y'all? What's going on tonight? Let's get it. Yee! We got some stories tonight, y'all. We got some stories to bring to y'all tonight. Let's go. Yee! Put some love on the live. Put some love on the live. Here we go. We about to get into it, y'all. We got some crazy stories to bring to y'all tonight. What's going on, gang? Hey. We about to get into the first story tonight. Hit that like button on your way in. Let's get everybody in here tonight. Yee! Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are in the state of Minnesota right now. Getting ready to bring some crazy stories to y'all tonight, man. Hit that like button on your way in. Everybody hit that like button. We are about to bring y'all some crazy stories. Let me know if you heard them. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat by way of Minnesota right now. Somebody said, where you going? We on the way to North Dakota. Hey, let's go. We on the way to North Dakota tonight. We got Cali in the building. Let me know where you're tuning in from, chat. Yee! We got some crazy stories to bring to y'all tonight. South Dakota. I love South Dakota. Shout out to South Dakota. I love South Dakota. But tonight we going to North Dakota. Shout out to Sterling in the building. Yeah. Inglewood in the building. Let me know where y'all tuning in from, chat. Minnesota in the building. Shout out to Minnesota. Hit that like button on your way in here, chat. Hit that like button, guys. We got some crazy stories for y'all tonight. Hey, let's go. We got Oregon in the building. Y'all, what else? Who else we got in here, y'all? We got Ohio in the building. We got Hollywood in the building. Hollywood, Florida. What's going on, chat? Somebody said it. Sterling said he. Let's go. Hey. She know. Turn me up one time. Turn me up one time, chat. Hey. Yay. We about to get into it. Hey. Hit that like button. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. We got Virginia in the building. All right, y'all. Let's get into the first story of the night. Let's get into the first story of the night. Don't you go nowhere, all right, y'all? We are back on the road tonight, and I'm not even gonna lie. These headlines about to be unhinged, chat. They about to be unhinged. We got crime stories that'll make you shake your head. We got major prison sentences, all type of shit. Highway chaos involving police. Nick Fuentes. We got Nick Fuentes Talking shit about Donald Trump, chat. We got Nick Fuentes is turning on the GOP as we speak, y'all. We can't make this stuff up. We cannot make this up, chat. We can't make it up. All right. So we about to get into the first story right here. This story right here might take you for a loop, but it's definitely disturbing. Okay. Clinton Dietz unalive his father. Clinton, 11-year-old son named Clinton Dietz, unalived his father because he did not allow him to play the Nintendo Switch. Can you believe that? On his birthday, he unalived his father because he did not allow him to play the Nintendo Switch. That is wild. Let's get into this story right here, chat. Y'all tune in, man. Hit that like button. Let me know what you think about this story. All right, all right. Let me know where you're tuning in from. What was that? Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Depending on whether he's in juvenile or the adult system. In the adult system, he's facing.
Here it is.
Now that that's a closer look tonight, 11-year-old Clayton Dietz being charged with homicide as an adult. His lawyer trying to get that changed. Lily Sexton taking a look at some recent cases where major crimes by kids were sent back to the juvenile justice system. So what are we learning about this case tonight and similar cases, Lily? Pennsylvania is one of the states that would automatically put an 11-year-old in adult court if the charge is as serious as homicide. Now, it's rare, but there is a process that would allow that to change.
My goal is going to be to try and get him into juvenile court.
Attorney Dave Wilson, representing Clayton Dietz. The 11-year-old is currently charged as an adult, accused of shooting and killing his adopted father after his video game was taken as a form of punishment.
The primary thing to know about the difference between the juvenile legal system and the criminal legal system is that they are two separate things. When the juvenile legal system was created, it was really designed to be about rehabilitation over punishment.
The difference between the outcomes are major. How are you holding up, Clayton? If he's moved to the juvenile system, Clayton may be ordered into rehabilitative treatment until age 21 at most, and then released. If he's charged as an adult, he could receive a life sentence. This will all come down to the decertification hearing.
They have to demonstrate that that's the right place for this kid, that they'll benefit from the treatment and rehabilitation that is offered in the juvenile court system. And so the burden is really on the child to demonstrate that.
This process has been successful in recent years. In April 2024, a 14-year-old was accused of shooting and killing a 12-year-old girl. At the time of the trial, we showed his face because there are less privacy protections in place when they're in the adult system. Court records show the child claimed he did not know the gun was loaded. In 2023, in Dauphin County, a 13-year-old was involved in a deadly shooting, but his bullets were not the ones that killed the victim. Then in Franklin County in 2020, a 13-year-old was accused of shooting and killing his 9-year-old brother, upset that he wouldn't play with him. All three of these cases were sent back to juvenile court.
And there's a presumption that just because a person has engaged in, an offense or been charged with homicide, that they automatically must require prosecution in the adult system. And it fails to really think about the circumstances of their age.
Sioux Falls is a beautiful place. I love Sioux Falls.
Family history.
As you heard, the Juvenile Law Center wants more cases like this to go to juvenile court. But at the same time, there are many families of victims who don't view that as justice. They want more harsh penalties for convicted killers, and that can only happen in the adult system. For now, we're in Dauphin County. Lily Sexton, CBS 21 News. 11-year-old Clayton Dietz was in court yesterday for his first hearing. He's charged as an adult with killing his father. His lawyer said that he should be in juvenile court instead, though, where the punishments are drastically different. CBS 21's Lily Sexton joining us live with a closer look. So, Lily,
y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think should happen to kids if they murder anybody, right? If you got kids that unalive anybody, 11 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, 14, 15. What do you guys think should happen to kids? Should they be charged as adults or should they be held at juvenile detention centers until they reach 18. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Somebody said, what's wild is he was able to accomplish that. How you get unalived by 11-year-old? Uh, they said that it happened while the father was asleep. All right. So the child was able to get a hold to a weapon while his father was asleep. So that's when it happened. But y'all let me know what y'all think should happen to the youth, young kids like this who unalive their parents or unalive someone else at the age of 10, 11, 12. What should happen to them? Let us know in the chat what you think.
Lily, a few questions here as you're digging through this information today. If Dietz is charged as an adult, what kind of consequences and sentencing could that mean for him? Right, the sentencing would be very different depending on whether he's in juvenile or the adult system. In the adult system, he's facing life in prison versus in the juvenile system at age 21 he would be released, and until the, or possibly sooner, age 21 is the most that he could serve, and during that time would be a rehabilitation center versus prison like he would in the adult system. Okay, so drastically different from juvenile to adult court. What's the likelihood that this case moves to the juvenile system as his lawyer is pushing for right now? So we were able to look at a couple of different cases somewhat similar to Clayton Dietz, and in those cases, the judge did grant them to move back to juvenile court. But in each of those cases, there were additional aspects for these children that caused them to commit the crime. For example, in one situation, the child didn't know that the gun was loaded. In another, he was in a gang, he was in a group of people that shot, and it wasn't his bullets that killed the victim. So in all of these circumstances, there was additional aspects that ultimately allowed the judge to move it back to the juvenile system. So it is possible, it has happened before, but we don't know with this exact situation what's going to happen. Right, every case is so different. We know he turned 11 the night of that shooting, so he's still a young 11-year-old.
So yeah, that's what I forgot to mention, that he actually unalived his father on his birthday. The night of his birthday, he turned 11 January the 13th, and he unalived his father on his birthday night because his father took away his Nintendo Switch. Right? Now, I don't know what a kid could do on his birthday night to make his father take away his console on a birthday night. I don't know what you could do to piss your father off on your birthday, but that don't warrant, unaliving your father, or unaliving anybody, right? But I did forget to mention that it happened on his birthday night. Let's get right back into it. Here we go, chat. Hit that like button, chat. We bringing y'all some unhinged stories tonight. Here we go.
This is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Clayton Dietz. First I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Clayton William Dietz was born on January 13, 2015, and lived in the state of Pennsylvania. In 2018, when Clayton was 3 years old, he was adopted by Douglas and Jillian Dietz. Douglas was a truck driver who worked for J.B. Hunt Intermodal.
Oh!
In 2023, the family moved into a duplex.
So he was adopted. Okay, he was adopted. His dad was a truck driver. Wow. His dad was a truck driver. Sterling, you heard who he worked for, Sterling. His dad worked for who? J.B. Hunt. J.B. Hunt. That's who his dad worked for, J.B. Hunt. Damn, man.
On South Market Street in Duncannon, Pennsylvania. This is 15 miles northwest of Harrisburg. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On Tuesday, January 13, 2026, at 3:20 a.m., the police responded to the Dietz family home after receiving a report of an unresponsive male. In the home, they found 42-year-old Douglas Dietz dead from a single gunshot wound to his head. The weapon used to kill him was his own revolver. Douglas was in his bed, in the bedroom he shared with his wife. The bedroom was connected to Clayton's bedroom through a closet. The day of the shooting, Tuesday, was Clayton's 11th birthday. Douglas and Jillian stayed up after midnight and sang happy birthday to him. After this, Jillian went to bed. Douglas joined her a short time later. The next thing that Jillian remembered was hearing a loud noise. She noticed there was an odor in the bedroom like fireworks. Jillian tried to wake up her husband, Douglas, but he did not move. She then heard what sounded like water dripping. When she turned on the light, she realized that blood was dripping from her husband's head. At this point, Jillian saw Clayton in the closet. He shouted something like, "He's dead." Clayton then ran downstairs, screaming, "My dad's dead. I killed my dad. I hate myself." When the police were speaking to Jillian and Clayton in the kitchen, Clayton said to his mother, "I killed Daddy." Officers noticed that Clayton had a contusion above his left eye and a bloody lip. How he sustained those injuries was not clear. Clayton told the police that he had a good day with his parents on Monday. However, when his father told him he needed to go to bed after midnight, now on Tuesday, Clayton became mad at him. When the police asked Clayton what happened, he said, "I shot somebody." Clayton explained that his father, Douglas, took away his Nintendo Switch.
Damn.
He thought that his father put it in a safe. Clayton entered his parents' bedroom while they were sleeping and found the key to the safe in his father's drawer. When he unlocked the safe, he saw his father's revolver. Clayton retrieved the weapon, loaded the chambers in the cylinder with cartridges, and cocked the revolver by pulling the hammer back. Clayton then walked over to his father's side of the bed. At this time, Douglas was still asleep. He pointed the weapon at his father's head and pulled the trigger. The police asked Clayton what he thought would happen when he fired the revolver. Clayton said that he was mad and he had not thought about it.
Wow.
The police arrested Clayton and charged him with criminal homicide. Under Pennsylvania law, if a juvenile who is at least 10 years old is accused of homicide, they will automatically be charged as an adult. At the time I'm making this video, Clayton's attorney is trying to have the case moved to juvenile court.
Damn, Pennsylvania is not playing, y'all. Pennsylvania said if you are 10 years old, you're at the age of 10 years old in Pennsylvania, if you commit a homicide, you will be charged as an adult at 10 years old. I wonder what made them introduce that. I wonder what made them go with that. That is wild. They said he found the key to his dad's safe looking for the Nintendo Switch. He was so mad that his dad took the Nintendo Switch. He waited till he went to sleep, found the key to the safe, went inside of the safe looking for the Nintendo Switch. He didn't see the Nintendo Switch, but he discovered a revolver. He discovered his father's revolver in the safe, took the revolver, loaded the revolver up, pointed at his father's head, and shot that man in the head. All because his dad took away his Nintendo Switch on his birthday night. Wow. Yo, is that a problem, chat? Let me know. I need y'all to communicate with me in the chat. Is that a problem? Are these kids addicted to these video games? Are they really that addicted? Is it really that bad? Are you a parent who is having problems with your kid playing the video game too long at night? And when you take the game away or you tell them it's time to go to bed, are they going out, crashing out, acting crazy? What are these kids doing? Talk to me, chat. I mean, is it really going this far where kids are unaliving their parents because their games are taken away? This is crazy, y'all. This is wild. This is crazy work.
Clayton was able to get his Nintendo Switch. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Clayton maintains the presumption of innocence. However, the evidence of his guilt is pretty convincing. He loaded his father's revolver and used it to shoot his father in the head. Clayton told the police that he had his father in mind as someone to shoot when he retrieved the weapon. There would be a court battle about whether Clayton should be tried as an adult, but there seems to be little question he is guilty of criminal homicide. Either way, this case isn't really about guilty versus not guilty. Rather, the focus will be on what punishment is appropriate. Item number 2. A man named David Stuckey spoke to the media about Clayton. He said that he was close to the Dietz family, and Clayton even called him Uncle David. He claimed that Clayton had been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, and the symptoms became worse in 2025. On October 9, 2025, at the request of Douglas and Jillian, David wrote a letter to the Susquehanna School District and asked that Clayton be moved to a behavioral education center. There were concerns about Clayton's behavior toward his fellow classmates, which included alleged physical aggression and theft. According to the letter, in May 2025, Clayton assaulted another student. In June 2025, he made an inappropriate sexual comment to a male student. And in October 2025, he did the same thing to a female student. Allegedly, the school district did not take action based on this letter. Item number 3. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. It's difficult to know what happened with Clayton because there's not a lot of information available about his history. For example, why was he put up for adoption? Who are his biological parents? Were his adoptive parents really having trouble with his behavior? And was Clayton really diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder? If the claims made by Uncle David were accurate, this makes it seem like Clayton's behavior was becoming increasingly disturbing and antisocial. Again, Clayton allegedly made inappropriate comments, was physically aggressive, and engaged in theft. It appears as though he was impulsive and had low frustration tolerance. With this in mind, here's what may have happened. On his birthday, Clayton became upset after his father told him to go to bed. Clayton was not interested in going to bed. Rather, he wanted to play with his Nintendo Switch, which his father had taken away. At this point, he did not have any intent on killing his father. Rather, Clayton was simply trying to obtain the Nintendo Switch. He went into his parents' bedroom and searched for the key to the safe, believing the safe contained his device. The level of knowledge that Clayton possessed about the safe is worrisome. For example, he knew the safe unlocked with a key, he knew where to look for that key, and he knew where the safe was located. Jillian told Lise that she did not know the location of the key or the safe, so Clayton knew more than his mother.
Damn.
Another worrisome element is how brazen Clayton was. Here he was in the middle of the night, going through his parents' belongings in their bedroom as they slept. This is consistent with being fearless, defiant, and rebellious. When Clayton unlocked the safe, he saw the unloaded revolver. This is when he developed the intent to murder his father.
Yep.
The revolver represented an opportunity. Just like Clayton had knowledge about the safe, he had knowledge about the revolver. He knew how to load it and fire it.
Yep.
Clayton loaded the weapon, pulled the hammer back, walked over to the bed. There were several options available to Clayton at this moment. He could have put the revolver back in the safe and abandoned his homicidal plan. His parents never would have known. He could have tried to wake up his father and used the weapon to threaten him. Maybe this way Douglas would have given Clayton the Nintendo Switch. Clayton could have achieved his objective of getting that item back. Clayton could have fired the weapon into the floor or into the ceiling to send a message to his father that he was serious. This would have been extremely dangerous, but probably would not have resulted in anyone dying, depending on who else was in the home and where they were located. Instead, Clayton pointed the weapon at his father.
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody doing well right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hope everybody is having a great night. We are listening to a story about an 11-year-old kid who unalived his father for taking away his Nintendo Switch on his birthday, January 13th. The night of his birthday, his father took away his Nintendo Switch so that he can go to bed. It was too late, and Mr. Clayton Dietz was very upset about that. So what happened? He went into his father's bedroom while his mom and dad was asleep, grabbed the key to the safe. I guess he thought that the Nintendo Switch would be in the safe. It was not in the safe. He discovered that his father's revolver was in the safe. So he grabbed the revolver, loaded the revolver, and shot his father in the head while he was asleep. Have you heard about this story, chat? Let me know, have you guys heard about this story from an 11-year-old kid out of Pennsylvania? Let me know. Hello, what's up, Pro? How you doing, Pro? Alrighty. So we're gonna get back to the story, guys. Let me know if you heard about this story down in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Shout out to everybody that's here right now.
Father's head fired. He wanted to be certain his father was dead. This was no longer about getting the Nintendo Switch. This was about revenge. The court will take into account several factors to determine whether Clayton's case will be transferred to juvenile court. This is referred to as decertification in the state of Pennsylvania. The factors include capacity for rehabilitation before the age of 21, amenability to treatment, degree of criminal sophistication, prior record and behavioral trajectory, mental health symptoms, and whether public safety can be reasonably protected. This is a challenging case for the court because the facts of the homicide are highly aggravating, like Clayton forming intent to kill and shooting a vulnerable victim. At the same time, Clayton's young age is highly mitigating. He turned 11 on the day of the shooting. There is no way to know, based on the current evidence, which course of action makes more sense. It is impossible to reliably predict Clayton's future behavior. Research tells us that there are three major types of parricide. This is when a child kills a parent. The first type is a child who was mistreated. The contributing factors are chronic fear, learned helplessness, and self-preservation. The child wants to escape the situation. The killing usually happens after an escalation in the mistreatment. So the situation became worse for the child, and he acted out. The second type is a child who is severely mentally ill. This almost always includes psychosis, that is, having hallucinations and/or delusions. The child has a break from reality. The third type is a child who is antisocial. Here we see early aggression, theft, boundary violations, sense of entitlement, impulsivity, recklessness, lack of empathy, and a homicide that involves retaliation and planning. The homicide Clayton conducted does not appear to be a good fit for the mistreatment type or the mentally ill type. There is no evidence he was mistreated, and even if he does have autism spectrum disorder, psychosis is not a symptom of autism. The antisocial type is the only other option available. If Clayton does fit this type, this weighs heavily against the idea that he can be rehabilitated. If he was willing to kill his father in cold blood over an electronic device being taken away, what will he be capable of in 10, 20, or 30 years?
Right,
Will
right,
society ever have a reasonable guarantee of safety from
right.
Clayton? Despite the grave concerns the court will undoubtedly have about Clayton,
That's a
I
good
believe
point.
there's about a 65% chance his case will be decertified. If that happens, Clayton will be released by the age of 21, which will give him plenty of time to kill again. Now moving to my final thoughts. The case of Clayton Dietz exposes a pronounced flaw in the criminal justice system. The court is going to have to decide between two stark options for Clayton: stay in the adult system and potentially be sentenced to life in prison, or decertify and be released in 10 years. The problem is, there is no way to know if he can be rehabilitated.
Right.
Maybe this can be determined years from now, once his personality, behavior, and capacity for empathy can be more reliably assessed. Right now, however, the system is forced to decide based on incomplete information. Maybe it's time that a more flexible, hybrid approach is adopted, one that allows more time to assess the risk that the offender will remain dangerous. In the meantime, precautionary measures such as secure placement, intensive supervision, and mental health counseling can safeguard society without sentencing a child to a permanent fate before we truly know what he will become. Those are my thoughts on the case of Clayton Dietz. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. One element I find interesting in this case is how people react differently to the gun storage protocol that was used.
Yeah.
Again, the revolver that was
What's
used
up,
to kill
RW?
Douglas Dietz was stored in a locked safe, and the key was in a drawer somewhere in his bedroom. Some people have looked at this case and said, this is just proof that you can do everything right and still get in trouble if you have a weapon in your house. It wasn't like Douglas did anything wrong.
Right.
Others look at this and say, that's not quite true. He should have stored the gun in a way where Clayton could not access it, period. So having Clayton know where the key is, that's a bad idea. Having a safe in an area where Clayton could reach it, that's a bad idea. This is challenging because Douglas had a right to keep a firearm in his house,
Right.
and there should be a way to do that so that no one else can access it. It seems like he did put in a good effort. He had the locking safe and the key was somewhere else. But obviously, the effort was insufficient. He was killed by his son, Clayton Dietz. He was shot when he was sleeping. So, could he have done more? Could he have done more to keep that revolver safe, keep it away from Clayton? Well, I think it's pretty clear that he could have. Whether that would have seemed reasonable to him is a different discussion, but he certainly could have. He could have locked the gun in a place where there were two locking mechanisms that had to be defeated. Like,
Yeah, but that's, we can go on and on about that, man. Just for context for everybody that's coming in here that's just now listening to this story, right? I don't know if you guys heard about the 11-year-old boy out of Pennsylvania. His name was Clayton Deeks. 11-year-old kid unalived his father on his birthday, on the kid's birthday. He had just turned 11 years old, and he unalived his father while he was asleep, all because his father took his Nintendo Switch for the night so that he can go to bed. And so Clayton Dietz got upset with his father. His intentions were to go into his room while his parents were asleep and try to find the Nintendo Switch. And so apparently he knew where the keys was to the safe. I guess he thought that the Nintendo Switch was locked up in the safe. So he went into the safe and he realized that the Nintendo Switch was not in the safe. But what he did see was his father's revolver, right? So he grabbed the revolver, loaded it up, pointed at his father's head while he was asleep, and blasted his brains out, literally. And now the courts are trying to figure out if they're going to charge him as an adult and what they're going to do with this case. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody. RW, what's going on, man? What's going on, brother? I'm doing well, man. Doing well. He said, we all need to be responsible owners. I bought a safe when my collection started. Absolutely. And like the guy was saying on the video, right? The father, the father did everything he thought was responsible, right? The father did everything he thought was responsible. Now, we don't know if his father uh, ever showed the kid where the keys were in case the kid need to access the gun. We don't know if his father taught his child how to use a gun, right? We don't really know the nuances. We don't know the ins and out of what happened or what the kid knew. We don't know if the kid just grabbed the father's keys and tried every key that he had to see if they worked for the safe. We don't know everything. But what we do know is that the father, he actually took responsible measures to lock up his weapons, right? So we do know that. But the kid was still able to access the safe and unalive his father over the Nintendo Switch. So I asked the question: are kids too addicted to video games? We got 75%, 40 votes, 40 people, 40 votes. 75% say yes, 25% say no. Okay. So I just wanted to get into that story right here. So we're gonna get into another story right now, chat. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Hit that like button on your way in here. We about to get into another story right now. RW says this kid was in the system. No telling what he had done, lived through. It was his foster father, right? Yep. He definitely was in the system. And that's why they said they don't really know, like there's really no measures, right, to be able to evaluate what this kid is going to be like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, right? They don't really know, like, if it's going to be I forgot the wording that they use, discredited, I believe, or whatever they use. Like if he's going to get out in 10 years at the age of 21, if they're going to allow him to get back into society and he get out there and make another tragic, you know, event happen. So it's just it's a sad story, but it's a reality. It happened in Pennsylvania, And so we're gonna get into another story right here, right now. This next story, chat. Uh, this next story, we're gonna move on to this next story of this teacher. This story came out a couple years ago of Anna Marie Crocker, who was a elementary school teacher. She was charged with sexual misconduct, right, of 14-year-old, 12-year-old boys. And so she just got sentenced to 50 years in prison. I guess she was awaiting trial. And so I don't know if you guys heard about this story of Anna Marie Crocker, but yeah, she was a teacher. She was an elementary school teacher or middle school teacher. And she had just got sentenced to 50 years in prison for misconduct, sexual misconduct, and also child pornography as well. So let's get into this story right here of Anna Marie Crocker. Just give me a moment here, guys, to find the story. Right here, here we go.
Our top story at 4, an elementary school staff member in Silver Lake is facing multiple felony charges after Kenosha officials say she was involved in sexual misconduct with both current and former students.
Yeah, investigators say they don't think any of this happened during school hours or on school property, but we do want to warn you some of these details.
What's up, steering wheel? What's up, brother?
CBS 58's Ellie Nakamoto White reports from Riverview Elementary School.
Officials say 33-year-old Anna Marie Crocker is charged with having sex with a child under the age of 13, possession of child porn, and child sexual exploitation. This after court documents say last winter, one victim was at Crocker's house for a sleepover with friends when he woke up to her, naked, on top of him. Later that day, officials say the victim told his parents he and Crocker had had sex and that it was not consensual. On Wednesday, October 9th, a school resource officer at a high school asked another boy if he had had contact with Crocker. That boy admitted he had exchanged sexual chats and pictures with her on Snapchat, quote, for a long time, and that she had, quote, sexually assaulted him in a Racine County parking lot in August.
What's up, chat?
Documents reveal Crocker texted the first victim a couple of months ago, telling him to apologize to her and that he could not tell anyone about what happened. Crocker, who is currently being held at the Kenosha County Jail, had a cash bond set at $500,000 Friday afternoon. School District Administrator Kim Taylor says the school is fully cooperating with the investigation and that their focus at this
What's
time
up,
is
Trump
on
USA? What's up,
making
Paul?
sure they have access to the safe,
What's up, Sawyer?
and welcoming learning environment
RW, what's going on?
and deserve. But a Riverview parent who requested we withhold their name tells me they are, quote, deeply concerned, saying school is supposed to be a safe place for kids, and for some kids, their only safe place. That has all been ripped away. I am terrified to send my daughter to school now. The Sheriff's Department says they are, quote, working feverishly to follow up on any lead. So they're asking anybody with information to reach out immediately. In Kenosha, Ellie Nakamoto White, CBS 58 News.
All right, so that came out a year ago, right? So that story came out like a year ago, and she was charged, right? So she was awaiting trial. She was charged, and the judge gave her a $500,000 bond for this for the felony charges that she was facing, right? Anna Marie Crocker. Let me know down in the chat if you ever heard about this story of Anna Marie Crocker, elementary school staff member who was having sexual intercourses with young boys from the age of 12 to 14. All right, and so that was about a year ago when they charged her with these felony charges, and so she was awaiting trial. And so today or yesterday, she just received her sentencing, and so we're finna get into that story of her receiving her sentencing right here. Here we go, chat.
Well, here we are again. Another teacher caught going too far with her students, and the sentence on this one is a shocker.
In court Tuesday to learn her fate after pleading guilty to multiple crimes.
I'm disturbed by the harm and distress along with the trauma that you have to endure. I'm deeply sorry that this is
I'm in Minnesota.
Pain and anger. and that you have to live with this the rest of your lives.
Before we hear how long she's going away for, let's get some details on what she did.
A boy told investigators Crocker is a heavy drinker and that he was 12 when she forced herself onto him. Another victim said she sexually assaulted him in a parking lot.
One victim was at Crocker's house for a sleepover with friends when he woke up to her, naked, on top of him. Later that day, officials say the victim told his parents he and Crocker had had sex and that it was not consensual.
She couldn't help herself. She was juggling all of these boys at the same time.
She sought out children, she used children, and she took advantage of children.
Crocker, a mother of 4 herself, pleading for a lighter sentence.
Pleading for a lighter
dragging their
sentence.
families down with them. Just devastating for the kids.
I'm asking for mercy and compassion, even though I understand the seriousness.
The judge ultimately handing down 51 and a half years of incarceration.
Holy shit.
Wait, she asking for mercy and compassion? Where was her mercy and compassion when she was touching these 12-year-old boys? Huh? Where was her mercy and compassion when she was touching these 12, 13, 14-year-old boys? And she got 4 kids of her own. Where was her compassion then? Now she's sobbing in court. She crying in court, giving us these damn crocodile tears. She crying and shit, asking for compassion, asking for a lighter sentence. Where was your compassion then, ma'am? Where was all that energy when you was touching these young boys? It's crazy how these people get in court and they really get a slap in the face by reality. When they get that slap in the face by reality, they realize that shit gets real fast. It gets real fast. And now they want to cry and fucking sob and ask for forgiveness. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please show me some mercy. But you didn't want to show mercy to these vulnerable young boys. You didn't want to show mercy to them, but you want somebody to show mercy to you. It's ridiculous, chat. It's ridiculous. I'm glad that they slapped her ass with 50 years. But she's gonna get out when she's like 80, 84 years old though. If she lived to see that day, I don't think she should see another day, to be honest with you. I don't think she should. I don't think she should. Here we go. Let's get back into this disturbing story, chat. So disturbing. Hit that like button on the way in here, guys. We almost at 20. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate that, man.
She will be in her 80s when she gets out. Unbelievable. This teacher, by comparison, got off quite easy.
I'm going to order that Ms. Bergman be incarcerated in the Wisconsin State Prison System for 6 years.
An elementary school teacher is headed to prison for the next 6 years. This is the moment when a judge handed down the sentence to Madison Bergman, who admitted to having an inappropriate relationship with an 11-year-old student.
Ms. Bergman, you're going to have to calm down for a minute.
She was actually planning her wedding when she was arrested. It was to take place in 3 months.
This teacher of the year out of San Diego got a whopping 30 years.
I ripped away their childhood. Instead of following the path of what a teacher should be, I let my selfishness override the boys' best interests. I'm so sorry.
And this teacher was shocked at her sentence, but really should be thankful for the low number she got.
There's no excuse for what I did, and I will not try to offer one. I crossed a boundary that never should have been crossed.
Nutley looked startled when the judge lashed out at her for not showing enough remorse.
What I was looking for was for you to say.
But it's crazy. So right now, so we pretty much covered that case of Anna Marie Crocker, right? That's the case I wanted to cover. Right now they're going over several cases of these teachers, different teachers from different states who were sentenced to different incarcerated 30 years, 3 years, 5 years. It's crazy how it varies from state to state on the amount of time that they're willing to give these women for touching these young boys, right? A lot of times, and in many cases, y'all, in many cases, a lot of these women who touch young men, young boys, a lot of these women get slapped on the wrist. A lot of them get slapped on the wrist. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, I'm talking like this lady right here out of San Diego, 3 years in prison. She got 3 years for touching a young boy. 3 years. It's wild. A lot of these women teachers get slaps on the wrist, chat. It's crazy. It's crazy. What's up, everybody in the chat, man? Thank y'all for being here. We about to get into the next story right here, man. Hit that like button. We almost at 20 likes. James said, I love this. I was touched by one of these lovely women as a child. I'm actually sorry to hear that. I don't think that's anything to brag about, and I'm sorry to hear that. Right? I don't think it's okay for young boys to be touched by grown women. I do not think it's okay. All right. You said I'm loud. Am I too loud, y'all? I have a headphone on. If I'm too loud, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry for being too loud. I apologize. Let me tone it down some, y'all. Let me tone it down. So let's get into this story right here. We're gonna get into this Dallas, Texas drive-by story. This story right here is sad. It's sad because the woman was unalived in a drive-by, but it's also sad because her husband, they interviewed her husband, and apparently she told her husband that she was going to the store, and come to find out, uh, she went to the store and she was shot 30 times in a drive-by, and there was a young man in the car with her, 21 years old, a young man, and the family cannot identify who the young man was. So apparently, in my assessment, she was cheating on the husband. She was out cheating on the husband, and she got unalive, and her vehicle was shot up 30 times. But the young man survived, but she passed away, y'all. She passed away. She's a mother, a married wife. She leave her husband back along with four beautiful children. So she was married with four beautiful children, and her husband still had positive things to say. Even though they cannot identify who the young man she was in the car with, they can't. This happened. This happened earlier this week. So we about to get into the story right here. We about to play it and let you guys know what happened right here. Here we go. Here we go. Right here, y'all. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Thank you guys for being here, y'all. Hit that like button on your way in. Here we go.
Police are looking for the person who opened fire on an SUV, killing a mother of four and injuring her passenger.
Yeah, more than 36 rounds were sprayed into the SUV. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the woman's family and joined us live tonight with the update. Hi, Peyton.
Hi, Casey. Hi, Heather. Yeah, Dallas police tell me right now no motive has been identified in this case. Suspects have not been identified, and no arrests have been made. Meanwhile, a Dallas family, the Lopez family, tells me they are waiting by the phone for any updates. Dallas police are searching for whoever fired more than 36 rounds into this black Escalade in Oak Cliff. Photos from the scene show the back of the SUV riddled with bullet holes after it crashed. The driver, 24-year-old wife and mother of four, Kaylee Lopez, was killed.
When you open that door, you hear that loud laugh, and I'm never getting it back.
Tuesday evening, Lopez walked out her front door, telling her husband she was going to grab food. But as hours passed, her family became worried. Just before 8 p.m. Tuesday, Dallas police were...
Somebody said she could have literally been buying drugs. Why would you insinuate cheating? We don't even know. Her husband didn't even know. Her husband was under the impression that she was going to buy food. Food. Okay, that's all we know. Okay, that's all he's saying. So I'm not insinuating that she was cheating. I'm raising a question as to why she was with a young man, a 21-year-old young man that the family don't even know who he is. The husband don't even know who he is. So of course I'm gonna insinuate she's doing something she's not supposed to be doing. Are you not gonna raise that question? If I had a wife and she tell me she's gonna go get some food for the family, I'll be right back, baby. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some food for the family. And she's unalive. She's unalive, right? And then the police come back and say that there's an unidentified 21-year-old man that's in the hospital. He was in the car with your wife. What? A 21-year-old man was in the car with my wife? Who? Who? And I'm not gonna insinuate cheating? Are you crazy? You out of your damn mind. Who said that? Envy? Envy, you must be a lady. You got to be a lady, right? Because you probably believe women just can't cheat, right? Oh, she was a woman. She's not capable of cheating. No way. No way. The women are out here cheating, chat. Why would you insinuate cheating? Come on. No way. Anyways, man. So this happened in Dallas. This story came out. Actually, yeah, last week it came out last week. I can't believe you guys ain't heard about it. It's a lot of stuff happening right now in the news, so it's probably got overwatched. But this happened in Dallas, Texas, guys. So let's get right back into it. Here we go.
When you open that door, you hear that loud laugh. I'm never getting it back. You know.
Tuesday evening, Lopez walked out her front door, telling her husband she was going to grab food. But as hours passed, her family became worried. Just before 8 p.m. Tuesday, Dallas police responded to a shooting near Zang Boulevard and Illinois Avenue. Dallas detectives say someone in a separate vehicle opened fire on Lopez's Escalade before driving off. Lopez and her 21-year-old male passenger both shot. Lopez died at the hospital. The man expected to survive.
Wow.
A person the Lopez family says they still do not know. Do you guys have any idea who this 21-year-old is?
No, I don't know. I don't know the person.
Just one of several
Thank you,
questions.
steering wheel. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, brother. Thank you.
Asking. Also, who would do this and why? No motive has been revealed by police.
I'm supposed to defend them, and I'm here. I can't do nothing anymore. She's gone.
Kaylee Lopez leaves behind 4 children, including a 7-month-old. Her family now pleading for justice.
She was a mother. She was a good student. She got married. She owned her own home, and she owned her own business. The dream life. I can't even go in her house. It's hard, you know.
And investigators also have not released a suspect vehicle at this time. Keep in mind, the Wynwood Village Shopping Center is right across the street from where this shooting took place. So investigators likely looking for surveillance cameras there and also possible flock cameras at that intersection.
All right, y'all. So what y'all think, man? Y'all think? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat, y'all. Y'all think she was out there cheating? Y'all think she was buying drugs? What do y'all think? Was she cheating on her husband? Right? And she had a 7-month-old, not year old, a 7-month-old baby. Y'all think she was cheating or was she out there buying drugs? What was she doing? What y'all think? What y'all think? Let me know what y'all think. Somebody said, hey man, been driving for a while. I've been parked for about 2 hours back on the road, about 6:30. Drive for Swift. Okay. Going to Longview, Texas. Shout out to Longview, Texas. From Dallas. You be safe out there. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, brother James. Brother James Martin, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Absolutely. I appreciate that. They got everybody. Technology gonna bust these fools. That's facts. James said he think that she was cheating. Steering wheel says all of the above. The good answer, steering wheel. Good answer. Good answer. All of the above. Who do I drive for? I don't tell people who I drive for, James Martin. I'm sorry about that. I don't tell people who I drive for personal reasons, okay? All right. But just know your boy been driving for 4 years. I love the company that I drive for. I'm not an owner operator. I do work for a company, and I work the Midwest, and I haul for Costco back and forth around the Midwest. All righty, let's get it, baby. So now, y'all heard that story right there. It's a sad story, right? We never want to. Hello, Melissa. How you doing, Melissa? What's going on? What's going on, Baron? What's up, everybody in the chat? Hit that like button on the way in. We about to get into the next story right here, right now. But that story right there was sad because you never want to hear anybody being unalived in any case, you know. But it does raise questions as to why she lied to her husband in the first place. Why she lied to her husband to tell her she was doing this when in fact she was doing something else. And in the end, she ended up, 6 feet under the ground, you know. And the guy that she was with is still alive today. That's the crazy part. We don't want him to, we don't want him to pass away, of course. But it's funny that he's still alive and she's not. But anyways, that was that story, guys. Let me know if you heard about Clayton Dietz, the 11-year-old child who killed, unalived his father on his birthday for taking away his Nintendo Switch. We covered that story. Let me know if you heard about that. Let me know if you heard about Anna Marie Crocker, who was just sentenced to 50 years in prison for touching young boys. She was an elementary school teacher. Let me know if you heard about that story. And we just told you about Miss Lopez out of Dallas, Texas, who was just unalive in a drive-by with her 21-year-old friend that her husband never knew about. All right. So let us know in the chat if you heard about these things right here. Maybe because he was abusive and she wanted her way out. Mm, maybe. We'll never know, right? We would never know. Damn, wish we could come do a convoy. Come on out here, man. I'm headed to North Dakota right now. Come on out here. We could do a convoy. Teddy said, no, she satisfied her happy. Most definitely she did. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Somebody said, tell us about Aisha and Muhammad. Aisha and Muhammad. Aisha and Muhammad. I don't know about that. You got to let me know. All right. So, all right, guys. All right. So we just touched 3 different cases, guys. We're going to take a shift over to some politics right here. Can y'all believe that Nick Fuentes have turned on GOP and Donald Trump? I can't believe it. I can't believe Nick Fuentes has shifted his position. I don't know if he's doing this for clicks and clickbaits and likes. I don't know if he's doing that to keep his name relevant. But Nick Fuentes has just went full-blown crash out on Donald J. Trump. Lord have mercy. He has flipped the script. He said that the Republicans will not win the midterms. He said that he hoped that the Republicans do not win the midterms, and he hoped that the Democrats win the midterms so that the Republicans can uh can can get a reality check. Because right now he said the Republican Party is falling off. So let me know if you guys heard Nick Fuentes. We about to get into it right here, right now. Nick Fuentes is going off on GOP. Lord have mercy. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Let's get into it. Hit that like button, guys. We almost at 30, guys. Hit that like button.
Sell for it again. Serves you right. You trusted the... That's what this is. Trump was the candidate, obviously. And people said that didn't matter because they're based, like Stephen Miller. He was the candidate. He was going to give them the West Bank, Gaza, Iran, Syria on a silver platter. And this is what you get. This is what you deserve. It serves you right. You trusted this. puppet. Now this is what you get. You get riots in Minneapolis again. You get illegal immigrants with an amnesty again. You get another war in the Middle East all over again. I mean, if only someone had said something, if only someone staked their entire career telling you, if you elect Trump, it's going to be a train wreck. It's going to be a disaster. Well, now here we are. So it's going to be rough, but that's that. We're going to move on. We'll take a look at our super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say about all this. Not good, guys. Where's the counter argument? Where's the enthusiasm? Where's the plan trusters? Hey, plan trusters, just checking in. Are you winning? Are the plan trusters winning right now? How are we doing over there? And like I said, the next move is they're going to try to get us all to vote for J.D. Vance. That's the next chapter. Have you had your fill of this? Well, just get ready. They're going to try to make you do it all over again with Vance. Anyone that's against Vance is going to get utterly annihilated, me included. They're already doing it. They're destroying anybody that's against Vance so that this fat fucking piece of shit can lose. It's just, well, people get what they have coming, you know. People get what they deserve. No one's paying attention. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the truth. So now you get this. Now you get the little tech that you deserve. You get the J.D. Vance that you deserve. People, if you're stupid enough to buy into J.D. Vance, hey, man, lots of luck. You're stupid enough to buy into this.
Yo, chat, y'all tell me, am I late to the party? When did he turn against the GOP? When did Nick Fuentes turn against Donald Trump? Am I late to the party, y'all? Did I not know this? Am I just finding this out? When did he flip the script? Was this months ago, last year, or is this recent? I was not aware. I could have sworn that Nick Fuentes was full-blown GOP. I could have sworn that Nick Fuentes was a full-blown Donald Trump Republican conservative all day. He's flipping the script. He is flipping the script. I am highly surprised. I don't know if he's grifting. I don't know if he's trying to stay relevant. I don't know. Is this real? When did he shit himself? Oh my goodness. Somebody said he never said he supported Trump. Really? I knew he supported. Look, in a minute, he's going to say that he hoped that the Republicans do not win the midterms. And apparently, thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it. Apparently, he hates J.D. Vance. I never knew he didn't like J.D. Vance. Where was I? Clearly, I've been lost in the sauce, chat. I've been lost in the sauce. Never even heard the man choose a political side. Oh, definitely. He definitely chose a political side. He definitely said that he was a Republican, right? When he speak about Republicans, he always use words like we, us. You know, we, us Republicans, we Republicans. He been said that he's a Republican. I've been knew that. I've been knew that. Somebody said most conservatives don't like Vance, dude. Really? Okay. I think he turned sides when Donald Trump announced that institutional investors can't buy single houses anymore. Okay. That's kind of vague, dude. Okay, bro. My bad. Anyway, let's get back into the video, man. Hit that like button on the way in, man. We're covering this story right here, y'all. We're covering this story. Somebody said, sorry, I'm a conservative, ex-Democrat. Obama was my last vote. Okay. No problem. No problem, bro. Whether you're conservative, Democratic, Democrat, independent, whatever you are welcome here. All right. This channel is for everybody. All right. Anyways, let's get back to this video, man. Nick Fuentes going in on the Republican Party. Let's go.
On us, this controlled. Artifice, hey man, lots of luck. I'm really becoming like hands off. I had a conversation recently with Keith Woods, and I'm like, Keith, what are we going to do? I'm like, we're losing the narrative. These low IQ anti-Semites are being captured by the left and by Muslims. They're like against ICE now. I'm like, what are we going to do? Like this, and Keith is like, what do you mean? What are we going to do? He's like, this is happening. And I was like, that's so true. Like, why do I feel like I'm in an A24 movie. What's that film studio? I feel like I'm in an A24 movie constantly. Hearts pounding, cortisol spiking, gesture maxing about politics. We need to work in the midterms. We need to prevent. And it's like, why? Why? Here's the information. Okay, look, here's the truth. Here's what's going on. Here's the predictions. My record is untouchable.
Here it is.
The information's out there. Take it. It's yours. You don't believe me? People go, well, you're the Fed. You're the fake whatever. Okay, whatever. Kind of taking like a more hands-off approach. So that was kind of, that was a bit of an epiphany. He goes, what do you mean, what are we going to do? He goes, that's just how things are going. So we have two different personalities. He's very like, hey, man, just let life wash over you. Me, he's kind of like the Joker in that way, where he's like, all these rules, he's like, and me, I'm trying to make it happen. I'm over here trying to fight the battle and, cortisol spiking, trying to get people to believe the right things. Now I'm kind of like, you know what? I fucking warned you people. What are you people going to do for me, huh? I fucking warned you people. I told you this is what was going to happen, and you all hated me for it.
Bro, calm down, man. Calm down. But he has some very, very good points. But also, we cannot blame the people. I can keep saying this over and over again. But what other option did we have? Vote for Kamala Harris? Are you kidding me? Then it was even worse than now. Of course, don't get me wrong. The Trump administration is horrible. It's cover-up after cover-up. It's like disaster after disaster. But what other option did we have? Vote for Kamala Harris? You can tell me. I think then we would even be, our country would be in a worse state than now. So this is also the problem I have with all these politicians. We have such a powerful country. We have so many smart people. And we always have to choose between like two lunatics, in my opinion. Seriously, is this the state of the most powerful country of the world, the United States of America? We have to choose between clown A and clown B, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? We need people who are really like leading this country in favor of the people, who really want to make this country great again instead of all these other foreign countries and instead of all these other foreign conflicts. We need people who care about this country, about this nation, and about the people of this country. But until today, we still haven't received someone like this. Is it almost like, why can we not just have one person who cares about us? Is that too much to ask for from the President of the United States of America to care about the United States of America? It almost looks like it. It's literally, I'm getting so upset about this. Dude, we need someone who is America first and Americans first. That's all we asked for.
2 years ago, you hated me for telling you this. Am I wrong? I was there. I remember. I was doing my show every night, trashing Trump and saying, don't vote, don't vote. This is a Jewish nightmare. Look at who's behind him. Follow the money. And you idiots said that I was a Democrat plant. You said that I was in the FBI. All this crap. I have terrible instincts, blah, blah, blah. All this kind of stuff. Oh, now I'm obviously vindicated. Everything that I was saying 2 years ago, now everybody's saying, and they still think they're smarter than me. And it's like, you know what? You keep it. You keep your country.
Not you keep your country.
I warned you. I did my job. I warned you. I told you this is what was going to happen. I didn't vote for this shit.
What if your doctor was just...
Oh, Nick Fuentes done jumped ship, y'all.
What if
he done jumped ship?
So, my message in 26, you can take it or leave it. Don't vote. Don't vote. Do not vote in the midterms. The Republicans have to lose.
Told y'all.
They have to lose. They have to crash and burn. A cleansing fire is the only thing that will save us. It cannot be fixed. F them. F Trump, f MAGA, f all this stuff. It can't be fixed. If it could have been fixed, it would have been fixed in 2025, but it wasn't. They made every mistake. Liberation Day, disaster. Doge, disaster. Big Beautiful Bill, disaster. Epstein files, disaster. Iran, disaster. The personnel, Mike Waltz, disaster. Ratcliffe, disaster. Rubio, disaster. Pam Bondi, disaster.
Big disaster.
Self-inflicted. Trump personnel, Trump policy, Trump strategy, Trump playbook. We tried it your way. It didn't work. You. Now we don't vote. That's the message. Seriously. Can't blame anybody else. Bad advice, bad advisors, Biden's economy. Enough already. It didn't work. We're not voting. I'm staying home, and you know what? I hope the Democrats impeach him. I hope the Democrats impeach all of them. I hope they indict everybody. I hope they depose and compel the release of documents, and I hope they find all the criminal behavior, and I hope it destroys the GOP.
Nick Fuentes said he is done with this fucking Republican Party. He said he done. He hoped the Republican Party crash and burn and start over. He said he hoped they lose the midterms. They need to. Yo, he is going in on GOP right now. He is going in. I'm surprised he didn't say nothing about Jeremy Carl. Donald Trump endorsing Jeremy Carl for the international, what was that? He is trying to, he's a nominee for international organizations, or I forgot what it was for Jeremy Carl. That racist. Oh my gosh, I can't stand that guy. I cannot stand that guy with nothing in my body. Can't believe Donald Trump is endorsing that racist. But this is funny, y'all. This is crazy right here. Have y'all heard this? This is Nick Fuentes. Absolutely. Here we go again, y'all.
I hope it creates a crisis for the GOP so severe that they never recover. And then I hope we get a fucking to run in 28. And I mean that metaphorically. I don't mean that literally. I hope we get a fucking fascist to run in 28 to burn the GOP down as a dark horse and win the presidency as a right-wing radical. That is my hope. That is my playbook. That's what I want. I don't trust them anymore. They say, we just got to vote for Vance. No, shut up. I'm not listening to you. The same people that brought you this garbage now want to sell you Vance. I'm not listening. You people told me that Trump was going to deliver a golden age and mass deportations and $2 trillion in cuts and charter cities and all this crap. You lied. It didn't happen. Now you're selling us on Vance? I don't think so. I'm not even listening anymore.
Damn.
I'm not voting. And they could say whatever they want. Say whatever you want. Try and squirm and struggle and flail around. I am not listening anymore. I am not voting. I am not reasonable anymore. We all played that for the last how many cycles? Were we the reasonable ones? Hold your nose and vote. Lesser of two evils. We can't let the Democrats win. Okay, well, we let the Republicans win. Look at what that has profited us. I know it's profited Israel. I know it's profited Silicon Valley and Wall Street and the rich.
No, we ain't going to Pilot. We ain't going to Pilot, man. We're going to Costco right now.
What good is that doing any of us that live in cities like Chicago or New York or LA or even the red states for that matter? It's not doing us any good. Ken Griffin, Trump's boy, is down there in Miami, back in the Democrat mayor over there. I'm out. You lost me. I voted for Trump in 2016 because Trump was an outsider, because Trump was a disruptor. Trump was going to destroy the establishments of both parties. That's not what he is anymore. And that's not what Vance is either, by a long shot.
This is so true. And again, like Nick is spot on. And maybe it sounds a little bit rude, but he has some very, very good points. And I agree the fact there are so many people also who watch my videos. They don't even want to vote anymore because they're just tired of all these games. They're just tired of the system. No matter if you vote left or right, you will always receive the same. And this really has to stop. This has to stop. And I get it. I also thought that Trump, like in 2016, he was a complete different person than now. Like, I feel like we have a complete different person now. Like, where is the guy from 2016? What happened to this Donald Trump? Now he said, we're going to drain the
Dude,
swamp.
he's
Dude,
old.
Donald,
What do y'all mean? What happened to Donald Trump? He's old. They already talking about his medical record. He could potentially have frontal lobe dementia or something like that. The guy is old. He's losing his mind. What do they mean? What happened to Trump? The dude is 80 years old. Almost 80 or how old is Donald Trump? 79? What do they expect? What do y'all expect? Y'all endorse the dinosaur. He's old as shit. That's crazy. He's 79 years old. You can't expect this man to just be the same way he was 10 years ago. Of course not. What are we saying?
Donald Trump and JD Vance are part of the swamp. They're the leaders of the swamp, or actually their biggest donors.
Literally, I mean that's why literally, right? He solely, I mean solely depend on that teleprompter. Like you can watch Donald Trump, all of his speeches right now. If that teleprompter goes out, yo, he's gonna struggle on that speech. He's gonna struggle on his speech bad. Very bad. Like he's losing his mind. He's 80 years old. That's why he has so many catchphrases, so many talking phrases, right? He repeats shit every day at the Board of Peace. We heard him just repeat everything. Sleepy Joe this, the Democrats that, this, that. The guy is losing his mind. I don't know why so many Republicans are surprised. Come on, y'all. Use your brain. Use your brain. Let's get back to the video.
But I hope you get the point. They are not different than all these other politicians. They just talk, but they never deliver. It's just always the same. I feel like it's the same coin with the same sides, no matter if you choose left or right. And I'm also getting tired of this left-right. But we just need someone who really cares about his country. Just what I tried to explain before in broken English. Excuse me for that. But
I mean, look at the prayer breakfast, right? Look at the prayer breakfast that they had. I mean, he didn't take the time to try to come together in peace. He didn't take the time to try to bring the faith leaders together, bring the country together. What did he do at that prayer breakfast? All he did was bash the Democrats, repeat catching phrases. He took that moment to be negative, literally, the entire time. Anyways, get back to the video. Here we go.
I'm getting so tired that all these people, no matter what they do, no matter what they want, they will always get the same. And of course, is it then maybe an option to not vote anymore? I think it is an option, but it's not the smartest idea because you always should use your power. You have the power to vote, so you should use this. But yeah, who are we gonna vote for? Because Democrat, Republican, will it make any difference? Does voting make any difference? I don't know.
We need something else. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care who it is. All options are on the table, other than voting for the GOP.
Sexless marriages have one thing in common. A man who grew up being a nice guy. There's a
I mean, like, who do we have like who do we have on the ballot for 2028 on either side that we really all can say like, oh yeah, this is going to be the next president without any doubt. Like on either side, the Republican side, Democrat side, who is that person out there that we have for 2028 that's going to represent the American people as a whole? Who is it? Y'all let me know who y'all think it's going to be. Let me know. Please don't say J.D. Vance. Somebody gonna say J.D. Vance. I'm gonna fucking flip my damn shit. Here we go, chat. Please don't say what's the other guy on the Democrat side? Please don't say Gavin Newsom. Y'all better not say Gavin Newsom, and you better not say J.D. Vance. Oh hell no. Hell no.
Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Is that not what we have been doing? Republican in 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. At what point do you say, let's try something else? We tried it that way. And I've had them come to me. I've had certain people come to me and they say, you know, we can't burn the party down. That's not a good idea. That's good. It's going to take us forever to rebuild. You're not being reasonable. It's like, you figure it out. Yeah, it's your job. I've been this party for the past 10 years. You won't even let me in the front door. You won't let me in the back door. I have been the party for the past 10 years. People got nothing nice to say about me. I'm not invited to anything. I'm not allowed anywhere. All I get is condemned and disavowed, qualified praise. Well, he's a complete horrible human being, but he can talk real good. And now they want to negotiate with me. Now they want to say, you got to get everybody on board. I won't do it. Miss me with that. And I am like all of you in the sense that I am just another expendable young white man that they don't give a fuck about. They treat me like they would treat you. I am just another, you know, I'm a precocious eccentric, but I am just another young white man from a suburb like LaGrange Park in Chicago. My vote doesn't matter. I'm in a blue state. My parents aren't from DC. They didn't go to William and Mary. They didn't go to Harvard. You know, so we don't matter. We don't matter. Our sensibilities, our prospects for having a wife and kids, with the social climate, owning a home, with the economic climate, the job market, you know, none of that actually matters to them. They don't care. If you say the wrong things, make the wrong jokes, have the wrong politics, they will destroy you with no compunction. We are expendable. Our job is to shut the f up, pay the taxes, obey the laws, vote while we get raped by the people that purport to represent us. And I'm not playing that game.
Do y'all agree?
That's really what it is.
Do y'all agree?
It's something that are the backbone of this society. If we acted like the people, there'd be no society. If people acted like the people, there'd be no society. There'd be no tax money. There'd be no budget. Forget that. People acted like we acted like these new Americans that are coming in over the border. There'd be no budget. There'd be no military. You wouldn't have an army. You wouldn't have an economy. You wouldn't have a stock market. We acted like them for 2 seconds. There'd be no country. So that's why our job is to shut up, do the work, pay the taxes, obey the laws, while everybody else is a free-for-all. Well, we are systematically and dispossessed, and we vote for the privilege because we're gaslit by these minstrel shows, to get us to turn out and vote for this policy. You get Jack Posobiec and the Blaze and all this other nonsense. Hey, everybody, vote Republican. It's going to be based and red-pilled. No, I'll wait for the collapse. Yeah, you know, at this point, I think I am an accelerationist, actually. I kind of just am.
Oh, bro, and believe me, you are not alone on this. So many people, they will probably agree with you. Even if I read the comments under my videos, I can see many comments. They completely say the same thing as what Nick just said here. But it's such a shame. And of course, I get it. I like to complain a little bit about this administration. I do this many times in all my videos. Nick does this. But we should also what other option do we have? What can we actually do? Because of course, we can complain the whole time. That won't solve any problem. That will do nothing. What are we going to do? We have to talk about some solutions. I'm very curious. If you know, put it in the comments as well. I read all comments. What solution do we have to solve this country, to solve this problem? That no matter who we vote for, we will always get the same. Do we need a third party maybe? Do we need like an America First party with Nick as a president? Tell me, I'm very curious. Believe me,
Not with
I'm just
Nick
thinking
as the
out loud.
president.
I don't have the answer for this because otherwise we wouldn't have this problem year after year or election after election because it always turns out the same. No matter if you vote left or right, we will always get the same slop. And this has to stop. So what solution do we have for this? And again, I have no solution yet. Maybe a third party, but then we need a lot of money as well. So that's also going to be a hard time. But what other options do we have? What can we do to make this country great again? To actually put someone in the office who cares about you and me, and not only about their biggest donors, not only about their friends, about their families. What can we do to put someone in the Oval Office who cares about you? About you, the one who is watching this, a normal guy, not an elite kind of figure, not a multimillionaire, not a billionaire, just a normal American guy who works hard, who pays his taxes, and where he just needs help from his government.
Yeah, I mean, who can we put in office though? Who can we vote for that care about the regular people, regular working people every day, like us in the chat right here, every day, who care about us being able to afford a home, right? Who care about men taking care of their wives on one income, right? Being able to afford a life to be able to take their wife and kids on a vacation every once in a while. Which one of these people care about regular people? Regular people. Who care? Somebody said Trump, somebody said Vance, right? Well, why are so many people in this country? Why are the approval rates so low? Why are so many people in this country still complaining about affordability? Why? We're talking about real people, everyday working people from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the North to the South. People, American people, still complaining about affordability, gas prices, food prices. Why? Why are they still complaining about these things? Is it going to take time? Is that what they're going to say? It's going to take time for certain things to work. People are fed up, man. I'm telling y'all, people are fed up, man. They feel duped. They feel duped by this administration. And a lot of frustration is coming from the right. That's the crazy thing. A lot of the complaining and frustration, what we're hearing right now, is coming from conservatives. It's coming from the right. It's coming from the right. Coming from the right. Trump has a 37% approval rating, said somebody. It says, who are they polling? They haven't polled me. There's polling. I don't know how much you're on social media, but there's a lot of polling going on Instagram, Facebook, that you can click on and poll. There's a lot of pollings going on online. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I told y'all, man, whether you right wing, left wing, independent, whatever you are, man, everybody is welcome here. Um, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. But Nick Fuentes is on fire right now, man. He is not happy with this administration at all. He has totally given up on the Republican Party.
Put in office to care about you and me. I'm very, very curious. Excuse me for my little rant, but we need someone like this today.
I don't love the label. I don't know if I'm ready to fully embrace it. But yeah, I'm kind of like, at this point, I have more confidence in everything falling apart than in Republicans helping us in any way, doing anything. And if they don't like that, well, that's a them problem. They can change my mind. You want to change my mind? Fix it. You want to change my mind? I don't know. Deport some illegals. Do something. Until then, I'm done. So anyway, we're moving on. We're going to take a look at our super chats. Excuse me. We'll see what you guys have to say about this. That's where I'm at. I hope you can. I think you do relate. I hope you can relate. I think you do. All right, let's take a look. Let me get set up here.
This is Nick Fuentes.
Never, and I mean never, ask, how was your weekend?
This is Nick Fuentes.
How was your weekend?
This is Nick Fuentes.
This is a new suit. What do you think? So I'm sure that Pam Bondi is huddling with the president, huddling with the White House before this hearing, and they know the questions are coming. And I'm sure that Trump is telling his people that this is how they got to play it. I'm sure he's telling them, if you get attacked, if you get questions, you got to talk about our record. You got to go back to how good we're doing. This is Trump and this is Susie Wiles. This is coming from the White House. This is their directive. This is their guidance. And I'm sure little Pam Bondi, this dumb little idiot, is going to the House with her marching orders from Trump and Susie Wiles, and she's going, I'm hitting that playbook. They asked me about the giant cover-up of the sex trafficking island. I'm going to talk about the Dow. They asked me about the victims of grooming and sexual trafficking. I'm going to talk about the NASDAQ and the border.
Pam Bondi is a dumbass.
And here's the thing. For those that are defending this administration still somehow, at what point is there any accountability here? You know, because I know there are a lot of people still defending Trump and they still think it's five-dimensional chess and he's winning. And, you know, everybody's like an armchair tactician. And they're talking about how Minnesota's not really a retreat. And this Epstein thing is going really well and all the rest of it.
Yes, that is snow on the ground.
Say about
I'm in Minneapolis right now. Minneapolis.
Well, you know, Pam Bondi's the problem.
I kind of agree with Nick Fuentes right here. I think disappointment is the best word to describe how a lot of us Trump people that did vote for him kind of feel. People voted for Trump for these simple things. Immigration. We knew that immigration, our border was out of control. No new wars. Iran is up and down. That's pretty unstable right there. Foreign policy is out of whack too. So a lot of Americans are not happy with the Trump administration. To be completely honest, I give the same way that I previously on this channel have given a lot of slack to Gavin Newsom. I'm from California, and I'm the type of person who's been calling out Gavin Newsom for always going on TV and saying, yeah, California is all sunshine and rainbows. I got to be fair, and I said this in the beginning of this election. I got to be fair with my critiques. I see Trump doing the same playbook as well. Every interview, every time he's asked questions, it's the best numbers, like never before seen. And trust me, I know it's bigger than, just the best policies. The country's doing better than ever. It's the best, we got the best borders. We're doing such a good job. Record number.
Well, he's getting bad advice. Okay, who hired the people? You know, they say, well, Kristi Noem, well, she's just an idiot. Trump needs a better person. Pam Bondi, she's just an idiot. Trump needs better. He's just getting bad advice. Okay, but this has been going on for 10 years. I lived through the whole first administration, and it was the same story. It's bad personnel. He's got bad advisors. He's getting bad advice. Okay, well, he's a grown man, and he's the president, and he's 100 years old. So,
not 100 years old.
Who hired these people? He did. He handpicked them. He hand-selected them.
That's facts.
Who's taking the advice? He is. There's no excuse. And then they want to blame it on the Biden administration.
Right.
They say, well, this is Biden's DOJ. It's a Democrat op. This is left over from Biden. Okay, so why the fuck did we elect you then?
Hey, CC. How you doing, CC? What's up, Karina? What's going on?
We are 25% through with this second term. And you don't have it figured out by now? They're still blaming it on the Democrats? Isn't that kind of what they do with everything? Why is there no peace in Ukraine? Well, the Democrats left us a mess. Why is the economy still bad? Well, the Democrats left us a mess. Well, why are the...
Somebody said more complaining Democrats. This is not a Democrat who's complaining. This is a conservative that's complaining. This is one of their own. He is complaining. He is fed up with the Trump administration. He is fed up with Donald Trump and his constituents. He is fed up. This is not a Democrat complaining. You can't say that. Sorry. You cannot say that. Cece, how you doing, Cece? Somebody said Nick is a lost conservative. How is he lost when all he doing is raising questions? Y'all can't say he lost. All he doing is he has concerns. Can he not have concerns? Or should he just be a yes boy? Right? Should he just be a yes boy and just follow suit, just fall in line with whatever the Republican Party says, whatever Donald Trump says? Should he not raise questions? Should he not have real concerns? Or should he just be a yes man? Is that how y'all roll? Let me know if that's how y'all roll. Oh, my bad.
Here we are again. Another teacher.
My bad.
If you're tired of paid trading groups,
Let's get back to the video right here, y'all.
different. I run a free.
Let me tell you what is happening in the White House. Trump is delusional. Okay? You need to know this. Trump is sick. He is a delusional person. I don't know if it's his age. I don't know if it's his personality. I don't know if it's because he's been in this reality distortion field for so long. But I know firsthand from people that talk to the president, from people that know the president, this guy is delusional. You pick up the phone and talk to the president. You go to a meeting and talk to the president. And I know people that have done this. And it's hours of self-congratulations, hours of this is my most successful administration. We've done more than anybody. The East Wing is going great. We've got the best numbers. It's all the... So this is like the Mad King. This guy is sick. He believes his own press. He is in his own world. Out here, in reality, everybody knows this is a disaster. Everybody knows immigration's a disaster. The economy's a disaster. The foreign policy's a disaster. It's a giant disappointment. This Epstein thing is a catastrophe.
I'm doing well, CC. I'm about to call you. I don't know how long you gonna be up, but I gotta call you and update you on some things. I definitely gotta call you and update you on some things. So be looking out for that. Let me know how long you're gonna be up. Or if you're gonna go to sleep early, I'll call you tomorrow and let you know what's been going on.
He doesn't know that. Now, because of that, and because of his cult-like control over the administration, he is advising his people to run this playbook. So I'm sure that Pam Bondi is huddling with the president, huddling with the White House before this hearing, and they know the questions are coming. And I'm sure that Trump is telling his people that this is how they got to play it. I'm sure he's telling them, if you get attacked, if you get questions, you got to talk about our record. You got to go back to how good we're doing. This is Trump and this is Susie Wiles. This is coming from the White House. This is their directive. This is their guidance. And I'm sure little Pam Bondi, this dumb little idiot, is going to the House with her marching orders from Trump and Susie.
Thank you, Saul. I appreciate you, Saul.
They asked me about the giant cover-up of the sex trafficking island.
Yeah, I told y'all, man, like on my channel, man, y'all can talk about both sides. We can disagree. You know, we can, long as everybody respectful to each other, I don't mind at all, bro. I really don't mind. I don't care if you're conservative, Democrat, liberal, whatever. I don't care. Long as we can be respectful to each other, man, and give each other ideas, and give me your opinion, I give you mine. Like, we still could be cool at the end of the day. We don't have to fight. So I appreciate everybody that's tuning in, hitting the like button, man, enjoying the stream. Everybody in the chat being respectful to each other. Much love to you all, man. Much love to you all. Here we go. Let's get back to the video.
going to talk about the Dow. They asked me about the victims of grooming and sexual trafficking. I'm going to talk about the NASDAQ and the border.
Somebody said, do you think Jeffrey Epstein was involved with Trump? I'll say this. I don't know if you answering me this question. I'll just say this, right? And I'll keep it very simple. When there's smoke, understand this. When there is smoke, chat, somewhere there is fire. That's all I'll say. Where there's smoke, there's always fire somewhere. I'll just keep it just like that.
And here's the thing. For those that are defending this administration still somehow, at what point is there any accountability here? You know, because I know there are a lot of people still defending Trump and they still think it's five-dimensional chess and he's winning. And, you know, everybody's like an armchair tactician. And they're talking about how Minnesota's not really a retreat. And this Epstein thing is going really well and all the rest of it. They say about Trump that he hired all the wrong people. Well, you know, Pam Bondi's the problem.
I kind of agree with Nick Fuentes right here. I think disappointment is the best word to describe how a lot of us Trump people that did vote for him kind of feel. People voted for Trump for these simple things. Immigration. We knew that immigration, our border was out of control. No new wars. Iran is.
Okay, CC, that sounds good, CC. Well, if you off the bed, get some rest, and I'll just call you tomorrow, CC. Love you. Have a great night. Kevin said, when there's smoke, there's fire. How vague. Look, Kevin, you want me to give a extensive answer? You want me to say yes, no? Like you want me to give an extensive answer to a question that nobody knows. Nobody knows, really. I mean, this administration has redacted so much information in those files. It's hard to even go in there and get full context of anything, right? Nobody knows anything because Pam Bundy and this Justice Department has just covered up so much information. There's redactions everywhere. So we just don't know. I don't know. But my question is, why do they got to redact so much information but they couldn't protect the victim's information. They releasing phone numbers, home addresses, names, all type of stuff of these victims. But they couldn't protect their information, but they sure as hell could redact other people's information. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. So you can say it's vague all you want. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know. I'm going to keep my vague answer. Anyways, let's get back to the video.
It's up and down. That's pretty unstable right there. Foreign policy is out of whack too. So a lot of Americans are not happy with the Trump administration. To be completely honest, I give the same way that I previously on this channel have given a lot of slack to Gavin Newsom. I'm from California, and I'm the type of person who's been calling out Gavin Newsom. We're always going on TV and saying, yeah, California is all sunshine and rainbows. I got to be fair, and I said this in the beginning of this election. I got to be fair with my critiques. I see Trump doing the same playbook as well. Every interview, every time he's asked questions, it's the best numbers like never before seen. And trust me, I know it's bigger than just the best policies. The country's doing better than ever. It's the best. We got the best borders. We're doing such a good job. Record numbers.
Well, he's getting bad advice. Okay, who hired the people? You know, they say, well, Kristi Noem, well, she's just an idiot. Trump needs a better person. Pam Bondi, she's just an idiot. Trump needs better. He's just getting bad advice. Okay, but this has been going on for 10 years. I lived through the whole first administration, and it was the same story. It's bad personnel. He's got bad advisors. He's getting bad advice. Okay, well, he's a grown man, and he's the president, and he's 100 years old. So,
it's not on repeat, but it restarted because I hit the wrong button, and you see what I'm doing right now, so I can't try to do too much right now. So I was trying to pause it, and I actually restarted the video over, but it's back where it's supposed to be right now. So we back on track. My bad about that, Bender. I'm sorry about that. We actually restarted the video, man. My bad. But you see, I'm on the move right now, so it's hard to do certain things. But here we go.
Hired these people. He did. He handpicked them. He hand selected them. Who's taking the advice? He is. There's no excuse. And then they want to blame it on the Biden administration. They say, well, this is Biden's DOJ. It's a Democrat op. This is left over from Biden. Okay, so why the fuck did we elect you then? We're a year in. We are a year into our golden age. We are 25% through with this second term. And you don't have it figured out by now? They're still blaming it on the Democrats? Isn't that kind of what they do with everything? Why is there no peace in Ukraine? Well, the Democrats left us a mess. Why is the economy still bad? Well, the Democrats left us a mess. Well, why are the Epstein files still covered up? Well, the Democrats ruined the DOJ. Okay, so why elect Republicans then? If Democrats get in, everything's their fault. If Republicans get in, everything's the Democrats' fault.
Right. Exactly.
If Trump gets elected, well, it's not really his fault. It's only the people that he hired that are at fault.
Yep.
I've been saying it for a long time. The problem is him. This is a difficult pill for people to swallow, and I get it, and I understand, and I know. The problem is him.
Definitely a tough pill to swallow.
It is a tough pill to swallow, and it's funny that he say that, right? Because like, you asked Donald Trump, are you going to fire Pam Bundy? No, I'm not going to fire Pam Bundy. But so many people are complaining about Pam Bundy. So many people are complaining about Kristi Noem, right? These leaders that he have in place. But it's so crazy because nobody want to blame Donald Trump for the people that he's hired, right? Nobody want to he don't want to take accountability. And I'll use the analogy like this, right? When you got a head football coach, right? When you got a head football coach who is losing games, right? He losing games, too many games, right? He's 3 years in, 2 years in, 4 years in, right? He's supposed to turn this program around, and he's losing games, right? Who are the fans pointing the finger at? Is the fan pointing the finger at the wide receiver coach? Is the fan pointing the fingers at the tight end coach? No. The fans pointing the finger. They might point the finger at the offensive coordinator sometimes, but in the end, no, it don't matter who you hire in the end. Well, it matters, but at the same time, it all falls on the head coach. Everything falls on the head coach when he's losing games, right? But it seems like when it comes to the president, nobody wanna point the finger at him. Nobody want to blame or hold him accountable for the people that he put in place, like Greg Bavino. Many people might like Greg Bavino, right? But I didn't like how Greg Bavino came out and jumped out the window after Alex Preddy was unalive. I don't like how he jumped out the window and said that Alex Preddy uh, barged at the federal agents. That he barged at the federal agents with a weapon. He brandished a weapon at the federal agents, and we knew that that was a lie. And Kristi Noem came out and said the same thing. Oh, Alex Preddy was a domestic terrorist who brandished a weapon at federal agents. They jumped out the window before they even saw the video. So I get what Nick Fuentes is saying. I absolutely understand what he's saying. Let's get back to the video. Somebody said do 100 if you're real. You crazy. Plus, remember, he used to be a Democrat, so it's still the same old story playbook. All of them need to be removed on both sides. That's facts. That's facts. 50-50. All right. William Bradley from the military service. All right, y'all. I can't try to read too much. Let's get back to the video. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. Gonna back it up a little bit.
If Trump gets elected, well, it's not really his fault. It's only the people that he hired that are at fault. I've been saying it for a long time. The problem is him. This is a difficult pill for people to swallow, and I get it, and I understand, and I know. The problem is him.
Definitely a tough pill to swallow. I said we voted for Trump. We're very hopeful. We're optimistic. And I just think, like I said, disappointment was the best word to describe how a lot of Trump fans are feeling. But we got to be real. We got to, the crash out and blaming the Democrats for every little thing. That happens so much. I see it. I'm sick of it. I think to be the better party, I think we got to just have accountability. Okay? It's not going as smooth as we hope to. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about, Nick violating Trump, as always. And it, pays me to see it, man, because I know Nick Fuentes was a big Trumper back in the day. He was inspired by Trump in his own words, like he said. And you gotta be real, man. If you think, in my opinion, I kind of think Trump is washed. Okay, he's not the same person of 2016. That fiery spark it's just not there. So I think he is a little bit washed, man. So let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious to hear. So agree with Nick. Let me know in the comments. Peace.
Sorry to bother you. I appreciate your time. Quick.
So that was Nick Fuentes, y'all. Nick Fuentes has given up on the GOP. He's given up on his conservative. Well, I don't know about his conservative views. I doubt he's giving up on that, but he's giving up on Donald Trump. CC says, "All right, Dom, talk with you later or on today. Love you. Good night. Love you too, CC. We will talk later on today. Have a great night. Get you some rest." So, what would Wilford Brinkley do? I have no clue, guys. I have no clue at all. So we seen what's going on with Nick Fuentes, man. He is done with the GOP. He is done with Donald Trump. He's had enough of y'all. He said he's moving on. He's done with the games. And so we heard it here, y'all. So we're gonna get into the next story right here. We're gonna get into the next story right here, chat. This young lady right here, 17 years old, and this will be the story that we'll end the night with. This young lady, 17 years old, was unalived by a 51-year-old man. Unalived by a 51-year-old man that she was going to meet in Palm Springs. She ended up telling her parents that she was going for 2 weeks, 17 years old. And my question is, right, this 17-year-old young girl, how are you going to tell your parents that you're going off to a vacation for 2 weeks? Don't tell them who you're going to be with, what you're doing. This story is crazy right here, y'all. But we're going to end it on this note right here. I was about to say a good note. This is not a good note. This is not a good note at all. We might end the live on a good note, but this is not a good note. But anyways, we'll get into this story right here. We're gonna change gears right here, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Hit that like button. Get us up to 50 likes. We're almost at 50 likes. If you enjoyed the live tonight, man, give me a subscribe, man. Give me a subscribe. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Let's get into it right here. Right here. Here we go.
The caption says, heartbreaking, 51-year-old man arrested for allegedly killing 17-year-old girl who went missing months earlier. She traveled to see him and told her mom she would be back in 2 weeks but never returned home. As the mom...
Hold on. Is that the video I want? Yeah, that is the video I want. Hold on. Let me make sure so we can get into it. We can get into it right here. Hold on. Let me make sure that's the right one. Hold on.
Hi, I'm Dustin, and this is Nathan with Drive Fast USA, Omaha's new Buy Here, Pay Here headquarters. Bad credit doesn't...
Looks brutal.
It does. Thank you, Shay. Tonight at 6, new details in the timeline in the murder of a 17-year-old Hemet girl. A 51-year-old man is now in custody in connection with the death of Tanea Tovar.
News Channel 3's Garrett Hoddle began covering this story back on February 6th when federal agents were seen executing a search warrant at a home in Salton City.
Tonight, he's live in the newsroom breaking down the latest information and the timeline of this case. Garrett.
Thanks, Karen. That's absolutely right. In the past day alone, I've received several calls from friends of Tanea who say she may have visited the Harlequin Court home even before October. Now, these claims have not been independently verified, and law enforcement hasn't said how long she and Abram Feinblum may have known each other. On October 23rd, 2025, Tanea posted a TikTok. The caption reads, "I need friends, but I'm all the way in." When you swipe to the next image, a map appears. It shows her location in the Salton Sea area. This publicly documents that Tanea was in or near Salt City more than 5 weeks before she was reported missing. It does not confirm she was at the Harlequin Court home that day, but it places her in the area. Friends also telling investigators they saw Tanea with Feinblum near 7th Street and Metro in October. That sighting, combined with the TikTok, establishes contact between the two weeks before December. Husband saw Tanea?
He saw the girl in the street walking around.
February 6th was the first time we saw the Harlequin Court property in person. What stood out immediately, it didn't feel open.
You were talking about when the FBI came and knocked on your door. What did they tell you?
They wanted to ask us some questions about the missing girl. And if I was aware about the missing girl in the area that had went missing, I said, yes, someone put a flyer at the corner of my house.
February 6th was the first time we saw the Harlequin Court property in person. Who owns this property? That's a question that we've been asking. What I've been told by neighbors is that about 2 years ago, the original property owner died. That investigation connected to remains found on December 21st near Portsmouth Avenue and New Haven Court. At the time, the identity is unknown. Neighbors tell News Channel 3 around December 23rd, shortly after law enforcement activity at the home, multiple security cameras were installed.
Always been very odd, scary. Since we moved here in 2015, we've always called him the scary man in the scary house. When we finished moving in 2015, we noticed there was a forensic truck here also back then.
New photos received by KSQ News Channel 3 show a forensic unit from the Imperial County Sheriff's Office outside the home in 2015. Fast forward to February 13th, a search warrant is served again. Feinblum is seen jumping a fence trying to run away from police. He's arrested on suspicion of murder and resisting a peace officer, currently sits in the Imperial County Jail, held without bail. Where the investigation stands for now, only partial remains have been discovered. It's a multi-agency investigation and ongoing. Court proceedings are still pending.
I've been receiving every single tip, every single clue. I've been checking up on everything, so I have to also thank people for sharing my daughter's story on TikTok, on Snapchat, on Facebook, on all the platforms. I appreciate it so much, because a lot of them didn't know her, but they took it serious and they prayed for her to come home.
Now, formal charges have not been filed against Feinblum. I've been asking the Imperial County District Attorney's Office about this, and we should know more on a possible arraignment date by Tuesday when court reopens.
I mean, apparently, I don't want to say anything ill about the young lady, but apparently she was on probation. She was 17 years old. She was a foster child, right? She was in foster care. And so apparently these foster parents had a lot of problems with this young lady, allegedly, right? And so she used to tell her parents that she was going to do this and do that. And so, 17 years old, thinking that she's grown, she told her parents that she's going to go away for 2 weeks and that she'll be back. And she gave the parents her location and all of this, right? And so the mother allowed that to happen, without figuring out who she's going with, where she's gonna, exactly she's gonna be, all of that. That's a 17-year-old. This is not a grown woman. This is a child, right? But yeah, apparently they found her leg, right? The investigators found her leg, and the mother had to go and do DNA to figure out if that was the child. But I want to let you guys hear the other video, another commentary on this current situation right here. With this young lady that was unalived by her 51-year-old boyfriend. Literally. 17-year-old dating a 51-year-old. He should be ashamed, and the parents should be ashamed for not keeping tabs on their daughter. Real talk.
The caption says, heartbreaking, 51-year-old man arrested for allegedly killing 17-year-old girl who went missing months earlier. She traveled to see him and told her mom she would be back in 2 weeks but never returned home. As the mother, your 17-year-old tells you that she's going away for 2 weeks. And you don't ask, so where are you going, who are you going with, what's their name, what's their address, what's their social security number, what they do for work, where's their mother, what's their blood type. You don't, excuse me?
Man, this is some bullshit.
Y'all, single moms are ruining the community. They are too busy trying to be their children's friends, trying to compete with their children rather than parenting them, setting guidance, setting structure, and setting boundaries. If you're rocking with the channel, go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. This one right here, this story right here breaks my heart, but we need to call it out to expose it. And I know people will come in and talk about, oh, victim blaming. Yes, we victim blame over here because we know that's them trying to avoid accountability. So
I
yes,
ain't victim
yes,
blame.
we do victim blame. Let's get into it, y'all.
Breaking tonight, the man accused in the murder of 17-year-old Tania T.T. Tovar is now behind bars. 51-year-old Abraham Feinblum was arrested Friday morning. Feinblum is now facing murder and resisting arrest charges and is being held without bail.
This is the man and this is the moment. 51-year-old Abraham Feinblum was taken into custody.
Adult black women on the internet are killing young black girls. When are we ready to have that conversation? Because we all know goddamn why that 17-year-old girl saw that 51-year-old, 50-something-year-old man as an option. Because every day she gets on this internet, every day, it's grown-ass black women like her doing content. There's a page on Instagram that I blocked 2 days ago. It's called Swirl Content. I went there. I couldn't believe it. Some of the most beautiful black women you would imagine in the comments dropping pictures, looking for a white man, looking for a white man, looking for a white man. Pasta lobster content, black men ain't shit content. They found out that one of the biggest anti-black men and pro-interracial relationship content on Twitter was run by a teenage black girl. She hasn't had any experience with any black men in real life. All she knows about black men is everything older black women are telling her, go get your white man. They got money. Go get you an older white man. That is exactly what this girl went looking for because y'all told her that shit. But that's a conversation we're never going to have. Last year, 2025, last year, more than 30 young girls went up to meet older white men and died.
Just how easy it was. We're just a really good match.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know how true that is. But that's what he said. I don't know how true that is, though.
The women that should be telling them to stay away from these dangerous men are on the internet telling them stay away from us and go to them. Because why, when I say us, I don't mean adult men. I mean, that girl, right now, that 17-year-old girl's biggest fucking problem, her biggest fucking problem should be that her boyfriend doesn't want to go skateboarding with her. Because he wants to go play Call of Duty with his homeboys. That should be her biggest problem. That and that her dad gave her $150 and she needs $250.
Right.
For nothing. She just wants $250 and dad gave her $150. That should be the world-ending dilemma she's dealing with right now. Her boyfriend doesn't want to hang out with her to go skateboard. He wants to go play Call of Duty with his homies. And whatever she wanted to buy, dad gave her half the money. Dad knows she doesn't need the money. That should be her world-ending problems.
Yep.
But she went to go find an adult man because y'all told her those are the men they should go after because we ain't shit. You don't.
She trying to fit in on social media because social media is filled with black men this, black men that, get you a white man, so that's what basically she's trying to do. But no, I had to laugh when he said her biggest problem should be skateboarding with her boyfriend or her dad not giving her the money, because I remember when I was 17, my biggest problem was my dad refused to buy me an MP3 player. I will never forget. I don't know, for some reason, he just refused to buy me the MP3 player to the point where I had to save up my own money and buy it myself. Like, it was not that deep, Daddy. But no, all jokes aside, back to this story. A subscriber had actually sent me this story. Shout out to you if you're watching. Appreciate you for sending me this story. This isn't a video that she sent me. Brace yourself. We're about to watch the video she sent me. Brace yourself.
Her parents, Charo Tovar and Josh Carter, are separated. Tania wasn't living with them. Like a lot of 17-year-olds, she was figuring out life, sometimes doing things our parents wish we wouldn't. But at the end of the day, she had a mom and dad who she knew would be there if there ever came a time nobody else would. She was 17, on probation, but her parents say she checked in daily. She shared her location until December 1st.
I didn't know she was going to go meet someone. She didn't say who she was going to go meet. She just said she was going to Palm Springs. Her location was on, then it was off. And then her friends.
I'm sorry. We're gonna pause it earlier. Your 17-year-old don't tell you who she gonna.
Right. The MP3 player, 34. She had like she had to save up $200-300, bro. Right? Hey, Trump USA. Trump USA said MP3 player $34. Right, bro? She had like she had to save up like $1,000 or something. That's funny.
But she just tell you she gonna. I'm sorry. Is it me? But when I was 17, I couldn't even go nowhere, much less to not tell them where I'm going.
Contacted me on social media to tell me that they hadn't heard from Tania either.
On December 1st, 2025, Tania is reported missing. December 21st, deputies respond to Portsmouth Avenue and New Haven Court in Salton City. They discover a human leg in a field. At the time, investigators cannot determine an ID. Weeks pass, then February 6, 2026, Imperial County Sheriff's investigators receive a positive DNA match from the remains. Tania's mother provided a sample. Rapid testing confirms the remains belong to Tania Tovar. On February 11th, News Channel 3 reports that confirmation. Authorities formally confirmed the next day. On February 13th, deputies and FBI agents returned to a home on Harlequin Court in Salton City, the same one from February 6th. Investigators say when they moved in, 51-year-old Abraham Feinblum ran, jumping a fence before being taken into custody on suspicion of murder and resisting a peace officer. He's now being held without bail at the Imperial County Jail. Formally charged. Tania's parents say they drove to Harlequin Court multiple times asking police to search the home.
I gave them all the information that they needed. I don't believe that they took me. I don't believe they took me serious. I gave them too much evidence for them to have did something now.
They say they never saw Feinblum face to face. They never saw him come outside. They've been watching the scene unfold from a distance. These past 2 weeks, fighting for answers, pushing for action, barely having a moment to grieve.
I mean, somebody. I mean, a lot of people probably gonna give this mother flack. Like, you know, why didn't she do this? Why didn't she do this for her daughter? You know, she should have had shackles on her daughter. I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. I'm gonna tell y'all from what I know, from what I've heard, it's not easy raising a foster kid, right? We don't know what this mother was dealing with this young lady, man. This young lady was allegedly on probation, right? This young lady probably was this 17-year-old young lady was probably hard to deal with for this mother and the father. And they said that she moved out of the house. They said she moved out of the house. She was never home. She told her mother she was going to Palm Springs for 2 weeks. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. No questions about it. She told her mom. She didn't ask her mom. She told her, Mom, I'm going on vacation. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Like, what? Can y'all imagine if your child tell you they're going to do something and they still underneath your custody? And they don't ask you? They tell you? What? Hell no, bro. So anybody can sit up here and say, oh, the mother should have did this. The mother was wrong. The mother blah, blah, blah. Man, some of these kids are unhinged, man. At that age, 16 and 17, like they're at a point in their life, like they're making decisions on their own, man. Their brain is damn near developed. I don't know about fully, but it's damn near developed. I think they say it take your brain doesn't fully develop until you're like what 21, 25 or something. I don't know. But this story is crazy, man. Let's get back to it right here, y'all. Hit that like button, get us up to 60 likes. Here we go.
If it kills me, I don't care. I have to complete this for Tania. I need to find justice for her. So I don't care about me right now. I don't care how sick I get, if I lose my voice, if I lose my life, if I lose my heart. I cannot sleep. I cannot rest until I get justice for Tania.
She failed her daughter. She failed her daughter, and it's a sick shame that she's trying to blame everyone else rather than taking accountability. Now, don't get me wrong. This 51-year-old waste of oxygen needs to be held accountable. Why even messing with a 17-year-old girl, much less taking her life? Not removing any accountability away from the predator. However, we live in a world with predators. We live in a world with rapists. We live in a world with these people. As parents, it's your responsibility to protect your children. The caption says, heartbreaking, 51-year-old man arrested for allegedly killing 17-year-old girl who went missing months earlier. She traveled to see him and told her mom she would.
Yeah, it is. As parents, it is our responsibility to protect our children. But how far do you go? Like, where does the line stop when your 17-year-old kids, when your 16-year-old kids become so unhinged to where they're out there doing things after school and they get themselves in trouble? You can't always hold your kids' hands every day, all day. You can't. They go to school, they doing things, they skipping school. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't always stop what they're gonna do. I mean, this young lady was on probation. We don't know why she was on probation, but apparently she was, she's a foster kid. So apparently she's been a problem child. But where do you draw the line? So I don't agree when she say her mother failed her daughter. Like, we don't know that. We don't know enough about what this mother was going through with this young lady to sit here and say that she failed her daughter. I don't understand how this young lady on this channel could say that. I don't know how she can sit there and say that.
She would be back in 2 weeks but never return home. As the mother, your 17-year-old tells you that she's going away for 2 weeks. And you don't ask where you going, who you going with, what's their name, what's their address, what's their social security number, what they do for work, where's their mother, what's their blood type. You don't, excuse me? As I said, when I was 17, I couldn't even think of saying I'm going nowhere, much less going somewhere for 2 weeks, much less not giving information about where I'm going. I do not understand. And for the mom to come up here and act as if, oh, I told the cops to go search their home. Unfortunately, more than likely, she was already passed. So the mom acting as if, oh, it's the police fault. The police didn't search the home. That wouldn't change nothing. Ma'am, you already let your 17-year-old ganga tech man for 2 weeks. She don't tell you where she's going. She didn't tell you where she was going. She didn't tell you who she was with. For 2 weeks at 17, her parents failed her big time. Big time. This mom failed her big time. And for her to come up here acting as if she is a victim. No. And we know people can be like,
I mean, what's she gonna do? Pull her by her hair, lock her down, and say, "Hell no, you ain't going nowhere." What's she gonna do? I guarantee you, this young lady was probably the type of young lady that told her mom that she was gonna do something, regardless if her mom said no. She was gonna do it anyway. She was gonna sneak out and do it while she sleep. You know, if her mom would have said no, her mom probably wake up the next day, and her daughter is gone. She's probably gonna sneak out and do what she wanted to do anyway. We just don't know the extent of this relationship. We don't know. We just don't know.
like, you can be like, oh, take it easy on the mom. Just like the British mom, the one who sent her daughter to Jamaica for a tech man, and so she can come back up to England with drugs. Same incident. These moms continue to fail these young ladies. It is the exact same story, y'all. It is the exact same story. No proper guidance, no proper parenting, no proper nothing. They just allow these young ladies to do whatever they want to do without setting structures and boundaries. These single moms are the one that's destroying the community. Breaks my heart. Going back to the first guy video when he talked about, the divestors and whatever. You're in a world of social media. Your children are going to get easily influenced by social media. I get that. And you cannot control your child. To a certain point, there really is only so much you can do. However, in this situation, your 17-year-old leaves for 2 weeks and you're so nonchalant about it. You're not asking her, why is she gone for 2 weeks? Same with the British mom. The British mom claimed she was so against her daughter going to Jamaica with a bunch of men, but she purchased her the plane ticket. It's not adding up right there. As I say, your kid, you can't control your kid. You can teach them all you want to teach them. You can guide them all you want to guide them. At the end of the day, they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. You can just hope and pray you did your best in guiding them. But these moms are literally giving these children the ammunition to ruin their own life. Seriously. Man, this is some bullshit. Why at 17 years old, she on probation, because I had mentioned she was on probation. At 17 years old, on probation, she can go pick up herself and travel, go way if you go there with man. Boy, I'm putting 100% of the blame on this mom. As I said, the dirty drunker what did this to this young girl needs to be held accountable too. However, we live in a world where evil people has been here since the beginning of time. You, as your parent, is your responsibility to protect your children from these wicked, evil people. Letting your 17-year-old go for 2 weeks and then you're going to come here and bow foo-foo like say you never know a wicked man there? The daughter even knows that she can do that without even sneaking out because you said she told her mom she's leaving and she will be back. She never sneak out, you know. She tell her, hey, because my parents in here, me I go at it.
All right, we're done with that story. We're gonna do one more story, but I disagree with her. I don't say it's the mom's fault. I won't say it's the mom's fault. Like I said, I believe that she was dealing with a unruly child. I believe that's what she was dealing with. This young lady was unruly. She did what she wanted to do, regardless of what her mom said, and her mom didn't know how to control her, and that's what happened. So, anyways, we're gonna get into a Georgia man was Georgia State Police has unalived the Georgia man who was chasing his wife and her new boyfriend up and down I-20 with a gun. All right. This husband wife did not come home as he asked her to, and so he went to go find his wife only to find her with another man, and so he started to chase them up and down I-20 in Georgia with a gun for 20 miles, and he was eventually unalived by the Georgia State Police. This is a crazy story. Let's get into it.
Sexless marriages have one thing in common. A man who grew up being a nice guy.
Domestic violence, toxic relationships.
Here we go.
And the lives.
This story is crazy, y'all. Hit that like button on the way in here, guys.
Domestic dispute leads to a violent encounter on I-20 in Douglas County. Police say they were forced to shoot and kill an armed man. It happened just before 2:30 this afternoon on the eastbound side near Post Road in Douglas County.
Friday afternoon on Interstate 20 in Douglas County, Georgia, a man walking down the middle of the highway, gun in hand, cars swerving around him, police cars everywhere, drivers recording on their phones, not believing what they're seeing. And in less than 60 seconds, Jorge Narvaez would be dead on that asphalt. But let me tell you something. This didn't start on that highway. This started 20 miles back when a 52-year-old man realized his wife wasn't coming home to him that day. She was leaving, and she wasn't leaving alone. How did we get here? From a quiet neighborhood in Temple to a shootout on one of Georgia's busiest interstates? Let me walk you through it. Because what happened to Jorge Narvaez, what he did that day, it's a pattern we've seen too many times before. You're watching Shadowed Crimes TV. We tell the stories that need to be told. Domestic violence, toxic relationships, and the lives lost behind closed doors. No sugarcoating, no excuses, just the truth. If you're new here, subscribe and join us as we shed light on shadowed stories.
That's right. Here we go, y'all.
Jorge Narvaez, 52 years old, Carrollton, Georgia.
Carrollton, Georgia.
To some people, he was family. One person even called him my second dad on Facebook. Said he always made them proud. Said the memories were beautiful. But that Friday, none of that mattered. See, whatever was happening in Jorge's marriage, it reached a breaking point. His wife was in a car. Not their car, someone else's car. Another man was driving. And Jorge? Jorge was behind them. Now let's talk about what we're really looking at here. Statistically, the most dangerous time for a woman in a domestic violence situation is when she leaves, not during the relationship. When she walks away, that's when the violence escalates. That's when restraining orders get violated. That's when women end up dead. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, over half of all female homicide victims are killed by intimate partners.
Damn.
And 72% of all murder-suicides involve an intimate partner. 72%. The numbers don't lie. Jorge's wife was trying to escape. She had someone helping her. They were moving. They were leaving. And for Jorge, that triggered something he couldn't control. Ain't gonna lie, we don't know exactly what led to this moment. Maybe he came home early and found them together. Maybe she told him she was done. Maybe he'd been watching her, following her. And this was the day he decided nobody else would have her. What we do know is that by the time witnesses spotted them, Jorge wasn't trying to talk this out. He was trying to end this.
Damn.
Sean Bennett and his mom were just driving home through Temple that afternoon. Regular Friday, minding their business. Then they saw two cars on Bar J Road, and something felt off. Sean described it like this.
We were driving home and we saw the two cars kind of going back and forth, battling each other. And we decided to follow, to be nosy.
Now, most people would drive the other way. But Sean and his mom, they decided to follow. His words, we decided to follow to be nosy. Make it make sense. But what they witnessed wasn't just road rage. This was personal. The white car, Jorge's car, was playing chicken with the other vehicle, trying to run them off the road. Not once, not twice, 3 different times, forcing the other driver to swerve, to brake, to fight for control just to keep from crashing. Sean said,
They were playing chicken. They were...
The white car was trying to run the other one off the road.
Yeah.
3 different times.
Think about what's happening in that other car. His wife is in the passenger seat. She knows this man. She knows what he's capable of. She's probably screaming. The driver is trying to get away, trying to protect her, trying not to wreck while Jorge is ramming them from behind. This is what domestic violence looks like when it goes public. Because here's the thing people don't understand. Abusers don't care about witnesses. They don't care about cameras. They don't care about police. When they feel like they're losing control, when their partner is getting away, they'll do anything to get that control back.
Damn.
Even if it means destroying themselves in the process. His wife was in that car. The man driving was trying to get her away from Jorge, but Jorge wasn't letting them go. He was hunting them down Bar J Road, swerving, ramming, forcing them into a corner. Then it got worse. Both cars came to a stop on that residential street. Families inside their homes, kids probably in their yards. A quiet Temple neighborhood about to become a crime scene. Jorge got out. And damn, what happened next was caught on a neighbor's security camera.
Summoners, use this promo code to get Ultimate Death Knight for free.
Are you a Christian looking for an honest and legitimate online business? A business that can earn...
The camera shows Jorge stepping into frame. His wife's SUV pulls up right behind him. You can see him turn. You can see him raise his arm. And then Jorge did what he came to do. He opened fire. Shots rang out in that quiet Temple neighborhood. Broad daylight, multiple rounds. The sound of gunfire echoing between houses. Jorge stood there, gun raised, shooting at the vehicle his wife clear. He was willing to kill her rather than let her leave. That's what we're talking about. Not love, not passion, control. Pure control. If I can't have you, nobody can. Sean Bennett was right there, close enough to see Jorge's face, close enough to see what rage looks like when it takes over. He said,
And the look in his eye and the way he was driving and just everything about his demeanor, it's just...
He was very angry.
Yeah, very, very intense, very scary.
The driver hit the gas, bullets hitting metal, glass shattering maybe. They got back on the road somehow, didn't crash, didn't stop. Jorge jumped back in his car and the chase continued. Moving on, they were heading east now, toward Interstate 20. By this point, other drivers were calling 911. People thought it was road rage. They had no idea this was a husband trying to murder his wife on public roads. Witnesses reported cars swerving, colliding with each other, flying down the highway at dangerous speeds. One eyewitness said, "We see an individual hiding behind the vehicle, the other one holding a weapon." Jorge and the other car made it onto I-20 eastbound. Now we're talking about a major interstate. Hundreds of cars, families traveling, semi-trucks, and two vehicles playing a deadly game of cat and mouse. Villa Rica police got the calls, multiple calls. Officers rushed to the scene. They spotted both vehicles near the post road exit. Both cars stopped, finally stopped. Jorge got out, gun still in his hand. And here's where it gets real. Walking, running, walking. Interstate 20. Lanes of traffic stopped. Police lights everywhere. Officers yelling commands. But Jorge kept moving forward, weapon visible, closing the distance toward his wife's car, toward the officers blocking his path. Police gave commands. Drop the weapon. Get on the ground. Standard protocol. Jorge didn't stop, didn't drop the gun, didn't comply. An officer made a split-second decision. The kind of decision officers train for but hope they never have to make. Active threat, armed individual, civilians in danger. The officer fired. Jorge Narvaez dropped to the pavement. The gun fell from his hand, blood pooling on the asphalt of I-20. It was over. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation took over immediately. This is standard protocol for any officer involved shooting in Georgia. When a police officer discharges their weapon and someone dies, the GBI conducts an independent investigation. They look at everything: body camera footage, witness statements, ballistics, whether the shooting was justified. The eastbound lanes of I-20 shut down for hours. We're talking about 8+ hours of closure on a major interstate. Crime scene tape stretched across the highway. Dozens of police cars, news helicopters circling overhead, evidence markers everywhere, shell casings, blood spatter, the whole forensic workup.
Man, I know those people in Georgia. I've actually been to Douglasville. I've been to Douglasville off of I-20 in Georgia. I've been to Villa Rica, right there at the pilot in Georgia on I-20, Villa Rica. I've been to that area before, and that area can get backed up. I bet those people were pissed too. I bet that traffic, they said the traffic was backed up for 8 hours. They shut down the I-20 eastbound lane for 8 hours. I would have been pissed. I was pissed about 2 years ago when I had to drive through Atlanta on 285, and this dumbass dump truck driver forgot to let down his trailer. He forgot to let down his dump truck and hit some signage, ran over the signage, and it fell in the middle of the highway. Guys, we were literally stuck for 4 hours. Traffic was backed up. This was right there on 285 in Atlanta. I was stuck there for 4 hours straight. Pissed. Pissed off. We could not move. Traffic could not move at all for 4 hours. Jesus love you all. Never give up. That's facts. Somebody said my audio book are much different. That ain't no audio book. This is a real story. This is a real story that happened in Georgia. You can look it up.
The GBI confirmed what witnesses already knew. This wasn't random road rage. This was a domestic dispute. Jorge had been chasing his wife and another man for nearly 20 miles, from Temple to Douglas County, from a residential street to a major interstate, from gunfire in a neighborhood to a confrontation with police. Now, let's talk about what happens in these investigations. The officer who shot Jorge was placed on administrative leave. That's not punishment. That's policy. Every officer involved in a fatal shooting gets placed on leave while the investigation runs its course. They get interviewed, their actions get reviewed. Use of force experts analyze the situation. The GBI's medical examiner would conduct an autopsy on Jorge.
Thank you, Jermaine. I appreciate that, Jermaine.
How many times he was shot, trajectory of the bullets, toxicology to see if drugs or alcohol were involved. But honestly, the investigation was straightforward. Witnesses everywhere. Security footage from the Temple shooting, 911 calls, an armed man advancing on police and civilians with a weapon after already firing shots. The evidence told the story clearly. The officer was protecting lives. Jorge's wife, the other driver, other motorists on that highway, himself.
What's up,
The
Michael?
shooting would be ruled justified.
My bad, Michael.
Began as a domestic dispute.
Michael, how you doing? I totally glanced over your comment, bro. I'm sorry about that, Michael. I'm doing well, man. How you doing, brother? I'm doing well, man. I can't complain at all. I can't complain. I forgot to also mention too. So this is a real story for those who don't know. This actually happened in Georgia, and after this shooting took place, they got a video of the officer that fired the shot. The officer that fired the shot and unalived this man, the officer broke down in the middle of the highway. He broke down on the shoulder. It started like he was crying, like distraught. He was crying that he had to shoot the man because the man didn't really, like they said, if you listen to the story, when the man got out on I-20, he got out on the highway. He didn't really pose a dangerous, like, imminent threat. You know what I mean? Like he was just slowly walking towards the police officer with the weapon in his hand. But it ain't like he was pointing the weapon at the police officer. He was just walking towards them with the weapon. Right? I mean, just walking slowly. And so the officer who took the shot and unalived the man, you can watch a video online. He broke down on the side of the road. He was crying about that. I don't know if this was a rookie officer or what. He just didn't want to really take the shot, but he had to take the shot. But you can watch the video. I forgot to mention that. You can see the officers crying. They did not want to kill that man. They did not want to do it, but they had to. I thought that was, I thought that was very interesting when I saw that video. For sure. But this is the last video that we're going to cover for tonight, y'all. We've covered a lot tonight. We've covered a lot tonight. So Michael said I'm in emergency room in my hospital. Parents had to bring me to the hospital emergency room. Start losing feeling with my arm that has the skin cancer. If I don't respond tight back, I have bad service in the emergency room. Okay, Michael, no problem, brother. Well, God bless you, bro. We're gonna be ending the live here real soon, so we'll be sure to send up some prayers for you, Michael. As always, man, we praying for you, and we hope that everything works out for you in the hospital, bro. But keep me updated, man. Keep me updated on the situation. You always do. We're gonna finish this story up right here, chat, and we're gonna be ending the live here in about 10 minutes. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming in here tonight. Sounds good, Mike. Thank you, brother.
Other driver, other motorists on that highway, himself.
Yes,
Shooting would
sir.
be ruled
Yes, sir.
justified.
Began as a domestic dispute. The GBI says it ended with Villa Rica police shooting and killing a man armed with a gun. The GBI now identifies that man as Jorge Narvaez. Now take a look at the scene here right now. Police are still out here. They had this part of Post Road blocked off for hours. At least part of it is open now. Sky Fox was overhead along I-20. Dozens of police cars on the scene earlier in the day. The eastbound lanes of I-20 were shut down. The GBI says Jorge Narvaez was involved in a domestic dispute with his wife and another person. Investigators say his wife and the other person tried to get away from Narvaez. He followed their car in a separate vehicle. Several witnesses called 911 to report a possible road rage incident. Officers spotted the vehicles on I-20 East just past the Post Road exit. The GBI says both cars stopped. They say Narvaez got out with a gun. He walked toward his wife's car and a responding officer. The officer shot Narvaez. An eyewitness tells us he saw the two cars swerving on I-20. He says they appeared to collide with each other. We spoke with that eyewitness. Take a listen.
We see an individual hiding behind the vehicle, the other one holding a weapon. And then, next thing you know, the guy was laying on the ground, the one that was holding the weapon. Shots being shot around you, not the best feeling, not the best place you want to be on.
The GBI is on scene. Their medical examiner will conduct an autopsy.
There was no arrest, no trial, no courtroom drama, no testimony from his wife about years of abuse, no evidence presented about control and manipulation and threats. Jorge Narvaez died on that highway. The case closed with his death. The officer was cleared. Justified shooting. A man with a gun, actively threatening others, refusing commands, leaving officers no choice. It is what it is.
Hi, it's government here.
That's facts, though. It is what it is. I mean, you can't really be out there threatening people with weapons, right? You can't be out there chasing your ex-wife or chasing your ex-husband, whatever. You can't be out there chasing people with guns and you don't expect any consequences. So I definitely agree with the whole turnout on that case. Yeah, I mean, he got what he deserved, right? We don't want nobody to ever be hurt or be unalived, but I mean, he kind of brought that on himself.
Jorge's story ended on I-20, but the pain didn't. Someone who loved him posted on Facebook, "I promise to remember you always and in the best way, because the memories you leave me are the most beautiful. I know I always made them proud. Jorge Narvaez, love you so much, my second dad." To that person, Jorge was family, a father figure, someone worth remembering. But to his wife, to the man driving that car, to the families on Bar J Road who heard gunshots, to the motorists on I-20 who watched a man get shot, Jorge was the man who chose violence, who chased them 20 miles, who fired shots in a residential neighborhood, who forced police to end his life. Two truths, same man. Here's what we need to understand.
What's up, John?
Domestic violence doesn't always look like bruises and black eyes. Sometimes it's control.
What's up, Alan?
Isolation, checking phones, monitoring movements, threatening what will happen if you leave. And sometimes, like with Jorge, it's a man who decides that if he can't have his wife, she can't have a life at all. The warning signs were probably there. They always are. But people don't always see them until it's too late, until someone's running for their life, until shots are fired, until someone's dead. Domestic violence doesn't always happen behind closed doors. Sometimes it plays out on security cameras and highways, with witnesses and police and news helicopters. Sometimes it ends with someone dead on the pavement and an entire interstate shut down. And the people left behind? They have to carry both versions of that person. The one who made them proud, the one who was like a second dad, and the one who couldn't accept that it was over. The one who chose murder over letting go. If you or someone you love is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. It's free. It's confidential. It's 24/7. Help is available. And if you're planning to leave an abusive relationship, please make a safety plan. Tell someone you trust. The most dangerous time is when you leave. Don't do it alone. This has been Shadowed Crimes TV. Subscribe for more true crime stories that matter.
So that was Shadow Crime TV. I actually heard about this story on Instagram yesterday, and I just wanted to go ahead and cover that story right there from Shadow Crime TV. Shout out to them for that beautiful narration. But that happened in Georgia, Douglas County, Douglasville, Villa Rica, I-20. If you know, you know. Um, that man was unalive by the Georgia State Patrol. He was unalive for trying to unalive his wife. So, you know, what's up, Max? How's it going, Max? How's it going, Max? What's going on, man? No snow, says Isaac. No snow tonight. We got a snowstorm the other night. We had a blizzard the other night, but we cleared the roads so far. So thank you guys for being here, watching from Florida. Shout out to Florida. I lived in Ocala, Florida for about a year and a half. So shout out to Florida. Love Florida. How's the weather down there in Florida? Let me know where you are in the chat right now. Everybody put their location. Where are you in the chat? What state, what country, where are you? Please don't put your home address. Please don't put your home address in the chat. We don't want your home address. Let us know where y'all located. We got Cali in the building. Shout out to Cali. Tennessee in the building. Raymond say in Tennessee. Florida, humid Florida. Shout out to Florida. It's about 70 down there. Wow. Shout out to Florida, man. Shout out to Cali, Florida, Tennessee. Who else? Who else we got? Let me know who else y'all got, man. I'm seeing a lot of somebody said they're in Florida, Estes, Florida. Okay. Eustis, Florida. Eustis, okay. We got Germany in the chat. Shout out to Germany. We got Germany, Cali, Florida. Who else we got? Tennessee. I'm in Minnesota right now. We're on our way to North Dakota right now. We are on the way to North Dakota. New Zealand's in the chat. Shout out to New Zealand. New Zealand in the chat. What else we got, y'all? We got Augusta, Georgia. Augusta, Georgia in the chat. Shout out to Augusta, Georgia. Sacramento. Headed to Phoenix. Okay. Sacramento in the building. Headed to Arizona. Okay, cool beans, man. I'm seeing a lot of new faces on the channel today, guys. I don't know who all's been here, but we covered a lot of stories tonight. Somebody said, where are you? I'm in Minnesota right now. I am on my way to North Dakota. On my way to, have you seen a NASCAR hauler? They can go longer than that. No, I have not seen a NASCAR hauler. No, I have not. San Francisco in the building. San Francisco in the building. Okay, we got Cali. Do we got Texas in the building? What Texas at? I know we got Texas up in the house somewhere. What North Carolina at? What South Carolina at? What Kentucky at? What Washington State at? What DC at? What New York at? Where we at, y'all? What's going on? Oh, guys, it's been fun. I do have one more video, but I don't know if you guys want to keep going. We can keep going. Y'all let me know in the chat. If y'all want to keep going, we could definitely keep going. I could do one more video. Or if you guys ready to call it a night, man, we could call it a night. It don't matter to me. But we've been maintaining a good audience tonight. The sheeple are sleeping. Yeah, they are sleeping. I can cover one more story if you guys want to. I can cover one more story if you guys want me to. Let's ride, brother. That's all right. Let's ride. No, I have not seen a NASCAR ride hauler before. No, I have not. Somebody said, go on then. Okay. All right, my bad. Shit. All right, my bad. We're going to go on, y'all. We're going to cover one more story, man. Matter of fact, let me take a moment to acknowledge, shout out to all my new subscribers, man. Shout out to all my new subscribers. I appreciate you guys for subscribing to the channel. Looks like we gained 25 new subscribers, so thank you guys. I appreciate you all. Definitely appreciate you all. Um, if you guys want to become members of the channel, understand that I do have membership for $2.99 a month called Road Talkers. So you guys can be sure to join the membership called Road Talkers, or you can join the Inner Circle for $4.99 a month. Just throwing that out there, no pressure. Just throwing that out there, no pressure. All right. And we're almost at 70 likes for tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get into this video right here. Let me make sure I got it. Sorry, that's not the right one. Here we go. Here it is right here.
Sir, if you had to choose one workout to shock everyone with your body in a month, what would it be?
Military calisthenics.
Thank you,
No
thank
gym,
you.
No running, just 15 minutes a day. If you want to look strong.
How's it going, church? Pastor Caleb here. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Wanted to take a moment just to remind you that this weekend is the finale of our At the Movies series. We've had an incredible 2 weeks, but we have saved the best for last. Oh my God.
Miami County, 911.
Oh my God. Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, what's the address?
Please hurry. Please hurry.
What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God. Sir, please.
A reported burglary early this morning in Tip City turned deadly as a 7th grade volleyball coach was killed in her own home.
Her husband and 2 children survived the ordeal, and now police are searching for a suspect.
He was a pastor, a worship leader, a husband, a father, and according to prosecutors, a man who sent a 5-word text at 12:42 in the morning that said, "It's almost done." 2 hours later, his wife was dead. And y'all, when that 911 call came in, the person on the line told police it was a burglary.
Oh my God.
Miami County, 911.
Oh my God. Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know.
Okay, what's the address?
Please hurry. Please hurry.
What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God. Sir, please.
Ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath, okay? Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please. Oh my God. My daughters are here. My daughters are here.
Where's she at?
She's in the bed.
Are you with her?
This is a story, y'all, about a pastor, Ohio pastor, unalived his wife. And this is crazy because he is quite the character, right? He is putting on a show right now on this 911 call, acting as if somebody broke into his home and unalived his wife. This is a pastor out of Ohio. I heard about this story on Instagram today. I said, I'm going to have to cover this story. Definitely got to cover this story. And then he had a mistress, y'all. He had a mistress on the side and texted his mistress and told his mistress that the work is done. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. We got spiritual leaders out here unaliving their wives for their concubines. Make it make sense. Lord have mercy. Make it make sense.
I'm looking at her. Yes, please.
You guys have the door locked?
We have the doors to the garage locked, but into the house. Yes, please. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God. Please.
Where is that room at in the house? My partner's getting them dispatched, okay? But I need you to answer my questions so I can get you help as fast as I can, okay?
What question?
Where are you guys at in the house?
I'm in the bedroom with her right now.
Okay.
My daughter's in their room.
So you are not with the children?
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room. They're not even awake. Oh my God! 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 Sir, please, please, please.
They are heading that way, okay? I need you to take a deep breath for me. Are you hearing anything?
No, I rubbed her leg and said her name. She's not answering.
Okay, your daughter's not answering you?
I'm sorry. No, hold on. I'm putting on her shirt. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Your daughter's not answering you?
No, they're across the room.
Okay.
In their room.
Okay. Are you hearing any kind of noise inside the house?
No, her face is, oh sir, her face is white as good ghost. Please hurry.
Okay, whose face?
My wife's face.
Your wife's face?
The one who was shot.
She was what?
Shot, I said.
Okay, where was she shot at?
In the head. I hope there's blood everywhere.
He is a horrible actor, bro.
I don't think so.
I hope he didn't think this was believable.
Baby, please. Oh my God, no, she's not.
Okay, she's not responding to you?
No. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
If you have foamy yellow urine and don't want to get hooked up to a dialysis machine,
what the hell?
You need to hear this. Drinking more.
Okay, do you see anybody in the house now?
No, it's pitch black and the doors are locked. The door leading to the garage door was wide open when I ran in there. Oh
okay, do you see any kind of vehicles?
No. The door that's open by the. Oh my God.
Okay, I need you to just take a deep breath for me, okay? They're getting to you as quick as they can. Is that door still open?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right, we back, y'all. We back, y'all. We back. My service kind of started acting up for a minute, but we back, chat. We are back. We're going to get this video going again right here. Somebody said he sound like a lying first grader. Facts. Like he don't even know how to act right. What a lame ass he is. Facts. Here we go. Let's get back into the story, y'all. Here we go right here.
I want you to go and find a cloth, and I want you to put a cloth on that gunshot wound, okay?
Like a towel?
Yes, like a towel, but do not apply direct pressure to it. Just put it on that blood wound, okay?
Okay. Oh my God. Oh my, okay.
I need you to just take a deep breath for me, okay?
Okay.
And this is a pastor, y'all. This is a pastor acting like this.
Wound, but don't apply direct pressure to it, okay? They're coming to you as quick as they can, okay?
I just laid it on her head.
Okay. Where are? Okay. Have you on them?
I haven't checked on.
Okay. Can you go check on the juveniles for me?
The police is here.
Okay. Can you go check on the juveniles for me?
Wait, the cops just pulled over. They just left.
Okay. I need you to go check on the juveniles for me, okay?
They're still sleeping. No. The cop just pulled over. Sir. The cop is here.
Okay. I want you to Okay, open the door for him so he can get into her, okay?
Okay, he's coming to me. Sir, please, sir. What? I don't know. The door to the garage door was wide open. I'm her husband. No, I don't think so. Yeah. Her head. Okay.
Hey, ma'am, do you still have me on the phone here?
Wide open. Okay. I ran here, and then there's a door all the way to the right. That one's open. Behind it.
This is such like exaggerated grief. It's almost embarrassing to listen to. Like such exaggeration. It's so
My daughters are in the bedroom over there. They're still asleep. Sure. You said the 911. Yes. No, every door. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Somebody broke in. Something went wrong. There was no burglar. There never was. This is the story of Ashley Flynn. And listen, this one right here is going to sit with you long after you finish watching. You are watching True Crime Tragedies, where we tell the stories that need to be told. No fluff, no filler, just the truth. Tip City, Ohio. Now, if you have never been there, just picture the kind of town where folks wave at each other from their front porches, where people still know their neighbors by name, where the streets go quiet at night and nobody really thinks twice about locking their doors.
I love a lonely highway. I love it.
Here, right? That is the world Ashley Flynn lived in. And by all accounts, she loved it. Ashley was 37 years old, a school teacher, a volleyball coach, a mother to 2 young daughters. And look, when a community loses somebody, people say a lot of nice things. That is just what happens. But the things people said about Ashley were different. Her pastor described her as one of the kindest souls to ever grace this planet. And that is not just something you say at a service to make people feel better. That is something you say about a woman who actually put in the work to be that kind of person. Every single day, for years. She poured into her students. She poured into her players. Ying is gone. And suddenly, everything feels is gone. And suddenly, everything feels like something is missing. That was Ashley. She gave, and she did not ask for much in return. Now her husband, Caleb Flynn, 39 years old, he was a pastor and a worship leader at their church. And here's something a lot of people outside of Tip City did not know about Caleb. The man actually auditioned for American Idol at one point. So this was not some quiet, behind-the-scenes kind of guy. He had presence. He had a voice. He was comfortable being looked at, being listened to. Every Sunday, he stood at the front of that congregation leading praise and love. The whole church looked up to him. And from where the town was standing, the Flynn family had it together. Real talk. They were a church family in every sense. Active members, surrounded by community, doing life in a place where people actually showed up for each other. Ashley and Caleb had 2 young daughters together. They had friends.
Women who think about breaking up with their partner during every argument often have abandonment trauma.
They had support. On the outside, this family looked solid. But look, that is exactly what makes this story so hard to process. There was another woman at the church. Her name was Aliyah Botner. She was also a worship leader, which means every single Sunday morning, she and Caleb stood on that same stage, side by side, leading that congregation.
What's up, Gates? What's up, Raymond?
In front of their friends, in front of Ashley.
Nothing like a long drive with no one but me and God. That's
Two had
facts.
been having an affair for months. Now just sit with that for a second. This man is a pastor. He is married, he has 2 daughters, and every Sunday he walks up onto that stage next to the woman he is involved with, and they sing together. They lead worship together, while his wife is right there in the building, watching, trusting, believing that the man she married was exactly who he showed the world he was. That is not just betrayal. That is a whole different level of disrespect. And at some point, Ashley started to feel it. She began opening up to close friends that things in her marriage were not right. She told the people she trusted that she was struggling, that something between her and Caleb was off. She was carrying something heavy, and it was getting heavier. The very last message she sent to a close friend, her exact words were, "I can't anymore. Hear me out." Those are not the words of somebody having a rough week. Those are the words of a woman who has been holding on for a long time and has finally run out of strength to keep doing it. The people around her knew she was hurting. They knew something was wrong. But not one of them, not a single person who loved her, could have seen what was about to happen. Now here is where things get real specific. In the hours leading up to Ashley's death, investigators found that Caleb was in heavy communication with an unidentified woman, through text messages and through encrypted messaging apps. And as midnight got closer, those messages picked up. More texts, more back and forth. The closer it got to that hour, the more frequent the communication became. And then at the 12:42 in the morning, a message went out from Caleb's phone. "It's almost done." 5 words. And less than 2 hours after that text was sent, Ashley Flynn was dead. Picture Tip City at that hour of the night. Every street is empty. Every porch light is off. The whole town is asleep. The way
Not the pastor standing in the pulpit breaking the commandments of God. Thou shalt not commit adultery, pastor. You know that. Come on, pastor. But what did Jesus Christ say about those demons, though? When they get into you and they wipe everything clean and they just wipe everything out inside of you, wipe all of the spirit out of your body, and they invite how many more demons? They invite several more demons just like himself, crept in unaware. That pastor was consumed with a demonic spirit, and he allowed his flesh to take over, and he broke the commandments of God. Lord have mercy. He became an adulterer and a murderer in one setting. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Ain't nobody perfect, though. Ain't nobody perfect.
way small towns go quiet when nothing ever really happens there. The Flynn home looks like every other house on every other block. Still, dark, ordinary. Inside, 2 little girls are in their rooms, asleep, unbothered, safe, or so they believed. Ashley is home. Caleb is home. On the surface, it is just another night, but on Caleb's phone, messages are moving back and forth with another woman, through regular texts, through encrypted apps. And the closer it gets to midnight, the faster those messages are coming. Something is building. Something has a destination. And then that text goes out. 12:42 in the morning. It's almost done. Sometime after that, in the early hours of that morning, Ashley Flynn was shot inside her own home. The woman who spent her days pouring into classrooms full of kids. The woman who coached volleyball and stayed late and showed up early. The woman who just days before had told her friend she could not do it anymore. Gone. 37 years old. Inside the house she shared with her family in the town she loved, on a night that started like any other.
A reported burglary early this morning in Tip City turned deadly as a 7th grade volleyball coach was killed in her own home.
Her husband and 2 children survived the ordeal, and now police are searching for a suspect. 10 News spoke with one of her former players as the community tries to cope with a shocking tragedy.
She was more than just a coach to me, but like family. And I loved her so much.
Laughter, smiles, and chocolate chip cookies. That's how 7th grader Jocelyn Frost remembers her volleyball coach, 37-year-old Ashley Flynn. The mother of two was best known as a volunteer at her church, a teacher, and to her players, someone who always made them feel better about themselves.
Her smile just like warmed up the room. And not only did she help me with volleyball, but helped me be better as a person. And she's just someone I really want to grow up to be like.
Coach Flynn would even use an Oreo snack as a life lesson.
The crunchy part of the Oreo was things we need to work on, and the inside, which is the creamy part, which was things we think we did well.
But her life lessons and kindness went beyond just the volleyball team as she made an impact on everyone she knew in the community.
Ashley was always very sweet and very, loving to her children and inviting to mine.
A prayer service was held at Upper Room Church today, where the community and her players got to say goodbye.
It was really cool because they said this is the legacy that Ashley left on everybody. And I really felt that because everybody there really was touched and really enjoyed to be around her. And we all just sat there and grieved together, but we knew she's in a better place now and she's with Jesus.
Like, what do you tell those kids though? Like those young middle school kids that love their teacher, right? Like, what do you tell those kids? Like, how does that traumatize kids? Like, from a student standpoint, when your teacher in such a small community, everybody knows each other, everybody knows your teacher, and you find out you're 13, 12, 14, 15 years old, you find out that your teacher was unalived by her husband, who is a pastor. You find out that your pastor, everybody knows your pastor in this small town. Your wife is teaching all of these kids. Everybody know each other. And as a child, you find out that your pastor unalived your teacher? Like, what kind of traumatic experience do that have on kids? It has to be traumatizing. Like, how do you grow up normal after learning something like that? You just don't. Absolutely, Raymond. Absolutely. Lust is definitely still destroying our world. Tell him the devil made them do it. That's right. Yeah. That's exactly. Tell them the devil made him do it. Yep. But it still can be traumatizing though. It definitely still can be traumatizing. For sure. That's just crazy. Let's get back. The video is almost done. Let's get back to it.
Tip City School Superintendent said that they will have counselors available for students who need them starting tomorrow.
Why are women so obsessed with men who smell like this?
How does it make you feel?
I would do some dirty things to you right now, baby.
And her daughters, those two little girls, were in that house when it happened. They were not physically hurt, but they were there. Let that land for a second. They were there. There is no easy way to say what that means for two children. No amount of careful words makes that okay. Those girls went to sleep that night with a mother and woke up into a world where she was just gone. When the 911 call came in, the caller reported a burglary. Somebody broke in. Something went wrong. That was the story being told. And for a moment, just a moment, that is what people in Tip City held on to. Because what else do you reach for when something this terrible drops into a town that quiet?
Right.
A random break-in. A terrible tragedy. Something that could happen to anyone. But investigators looked at that scene and they were not buying it. Not even close. Tip City police responded early that morning, and this case pulled attention fast. The FBI came in. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation came in. The Miami County Sheriff's Office came in. Now look, when that many agencies show up to one case in a small town like Tip City, that already tells you something. They were not treating this like a random burglary. They were treating it like what they believed it actually was. Police Chief Gregory Atkins addressed the public directly and said,
"The investigation continues to move forward. I realize the investigation is maybe not moving forward as fast as what residents want to see. However, we are doing our due diligence to make sure that in a complex case like this, that we are collecting all the evidence and we're following the evidence. We're not following hunches or misinformation. So residents, just all I can say is rest assured that we are doing everything in our power and the resources that we have available. We have also reached out to the Miami County Sheriff's Office, the Miami County Prosecutor's Office, and the Dayton FBI Office, who are also assisting us to not only for manpower purposes, but also additional resources and expertise in certain fields that can help in this situation. And we are doing the best we can to get the information out, and the correct information out, to avoid speculation or misinformation out there.
As previously stated, the family and community deserve a thorough, professional, and compassionate investigation into this very sensitive matter. And they meant that. They went to work. The first thing that fell apart was the burglary story itself. Investigators walked through that scene, and the evidence did not point to a stranger. It did not point to somebody who forced their way in from outside and panicked. It pointed to someone who already had access to that house. Someone who knew the layout. Someone who knew Ashley. Someone who was already on the inside. And then the digital evidence came back. And that is when everything cracked wide open.
Yep.
They pulled Caleb's phone records and found the heavy communication with the unidentified woman leading up to that night. The texts, the encrypted messaging apps, the pattern that kept escalating as midnight got closer. And then, and this is the part that really matters, investigators found what Caleb had tried to get rid of. Deleted messages, sitting in a digital trash folder on his device. He deleted them, thought they were gone, thought that was the end of it. They were not gone. Digital forensics does not work like that. And whoever was counting on those messages disappearing made a serious miscalculation. Every single deleted conversation was recovered and placed into evidence. And those messages did not just confirm the affair, they gave investigators a documented timeline. A clear, irrecoverable trail of communication that ran right up to the hours before Ashley was killed. Prosecutors looked at those deleted messages and called it what it was: tampering with evidence. An active attempt to destroy a record of what had been discussed and planned. Because when you delete around the same time your wife ends up dead, that raises questions. Big ones. The kind that do not go away. And then there was that text sitting at the center of all of it. 12:42 in the morning.
Yep.
It's almost done. Prosecutors argued that those 5...
They gonna catch you every time. Deleting never helps. Deleting never works at all. They gonna catch you every time. That's why they got all of those servers out there. They got all of those digital servers around the country holding all of your information on your phone. When y'all think you're deleting your messages, you're getting rid of old messages. No, 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 no. It doesn't work like that. Long time no see, Thelma. How's it going? Damn it, I can't get the fucking video to go back. Here we go.
Words were not casual. Not a figure of speech. Not something sent without context. The argument was that whoever received that message already knew what was happening. That whatever had been set in motion was almost finished. That this was not a crime of sudden emotion. And this was discussed. This was planned. This was communicated. And when you line it all up, the fake burglary call, the months-long affair, the deleted messages, the encrypted apps, the communication that kept intensifying as midnight approached, and that text sent less than 2 hours before the 911 call. Every single thread points in the same direction.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't know how we got through that fake burglary call, man. That was terrible. That was horrible acting, y'all. But we made it through it. It was terrible. Oh my goodness, I don't know how we made it through. But we're almost at 75 likes, chat. Let's see if we can get up to 100 likes tonight, guys. Thank you all for being here. Hit that like button, guys. And yeah, show some love on the live. Thank you.
There's nowhere else for it to go. 3 days. That is how long it took from the morning Ashley was found to the moment police made their move. 3 days. Caleb Flynn was arrested and charged with 1 count of homicide, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence.
Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Henry Huffman Society. You may be seated.
All right, this is case 26 CRA 285, Caleb C. Flynn. Mr. Flynn, you have several charges here. Count 1 is a murder charge, is a count felony of the first degree. Count 2 is 2 and 3 are both felonious assault charges, second degree felonies. Count 4 is tampering with evidence, a third degree felony. And that's count 4. Count 5 is tampering with evidence, a third degree felony.
My boyfriend and I found the most
All these damn ads, bro.
energy drink before your sex life.
The worship leader, the pastor, the man with the stage presence and the American Idol audition and the Sunday morning sermons about love and faithfulness. Sitting in a jail cell and charged with killing the mother of his children. And Tip City, the whole town felt it.
Wow.
People who knew Ashley personally were devastated. People who had never even met her were devastated. The weight of it spread far beyond the Flynn household. One community member put it in a way that stopped people in their tracks. The daughters didn't just lose a mom. Now they've lost a dad. That right there. That is the part of this story that does not let you go. In court, the digital evidence sat at the center of everything. The texts, the encrypted messages, the deleted conversations that forensics brought back from the trash. And the 1242 text that prosecutors argued made it impossible to frame this as anything spontaneous. And legal analysts who weighed in on the case noted that if those recovered messages showed coordination and before Ashley died, the case against Caleb would be exceptionally difficult to walk back. Officials confirmed that the 911 call recording and body camera footage had not yet been publicly released, pending proper legal procedures, but the investigation remained active, and the community remained watching. The community did what communities do when something breaks them open. They showed up. A local woman named Sarah Kaler started taking orders for handmade shirts. They said, "Live like Ashley." Within days, over $2,500 had been raised, all of it going directly to those 2 girls. People who had never met Ashley were reaching out asking what quotes of hers could go on the shirts. Strangers holding a woman they never knew, the only way they could. And one community member said something that stayed with a lot of people. It's just sad that Ashley lost her life over something so silly. Silly. That word carries a lot. Because at the end of the day, what was all of this for? What did any of it accomplish except leaving 2 little girls without parents? That is the part of cases like this one that never makes sense no matter how many times you turn it over. Those daughters did not ask for any of this. They went to sleep one night in a home with both their parents and woke up into something they will be carrying for the rest of their lives. No mother at the breakfast table, no mother at their games, no mother to call when the world gets heavy, and their father, the man who was supposed to be their foundation, behind bars. A celebration of life was held for Ashley at Christian Life Center in Dayton.
Do y'all think they'll ever go and visit their father when they grow up? I don't know how young these young girls are. I don't know how old they are, how young they are. Do y'all think they'll eventually ever grow up and go and visit their father in prison and ask questions? Or do y'all think they'll never be able to forgive him? That's the questions I have. That's the questions I have. This is sad. Sad case, man. It's a sad case. I think everybody fell asleep on me, y'all. We're almost at 80 likes. You guys have been rocking with me this entire time. You guys have been rocking with me tonight. We're almost at 80 likes. Put some love on the live, man. Put some love on the live. Spend that digital currency. What's going on, Candace? How are you, Candace? How are you, Candace? We have covered a lot of news tonight, chat. We have covered a lot of news tonight. If you are just tuning in, we always do stuff like this. We do current news, we do politics, a very respectful community over here. Be sure to subscribe to Dom Talk That Talk. That's your boy, that's me. Um, and so we like to have a lot of fun over here. We have a great community over here. And y'all know what's so crazy? Only one of my moderators showed up tonight. I guess all my moderators went out. They went out tonight. They went out to the bar tonight. They got messed up and they didn't come in tonight. But it's all good. I still love my moderators. Only one of my moderators came through tonight. But it's all good. Somebody said I'm not doing that great. I'm sorry, Candace. I'm sorry. I hope everything gets better for you. I'm sorry that you're not doing well. I hope whatever your situation is, I pray and I hope that it gets better for you. I really do. Sorry you're not doing great. Is that all the stories I got for tonight? I think that's all the stories I got for tonight, y'all. We can keep it going. I can find something. Trust and believe that. But I had already all the stories that I covered tonight. Uh, I had already organized all of those stories earlier today, so I had everything ready to go. Somebody said, "What up from the Bronx, New York? What's going on with it? Who that is? Paul. What's happening, brother? How you doing?" Somebody said, "Where are you going?" I'm headed to North Dakota. I am on my way to North Dakota. Man, we got Cali in the house, man. We got Tennessee in the house. We got New York in the house. We have Virginia in the house. What else? I think somebody said Arizona was in the house. Let me know where y'all at in the chat, man. Where y'all located, man? Hit that like button. We're almost at 80 likes. Mississippi in the house right here. Mississippi in the house. Chi-Town in the house. Minnesota in the house. We had Minnesota in the house. Okay. Hell yeah, man. Much love to you all. Much love to you all. Welcome to my channel, man. Um, this is a channel that covers news and politics while driving a truck. I also show my face every once in a while, so you can go and look at some of my videos. I show my face as well. But this is a great channel, man. We all have a great community over here, and we have a full community over here as well. So you guys are welcome to come back anytime. Show love. Anytime you're welcome to come back. Show love. Chi-Town in the building. I deal with bullying, and I barely make friends now, because now I have to do online school for my own safety, and it sucks. Candace, I'm sorry to hear that. Bullying. Um, V-Ray, what's up, V-Ray? Pittsburgh is in the house. That's right. How you doing, V-Ray? Candace, I'm sorry you had to deal with bullying, and now you have to do online school for your safety, and it sucks. Look, look at it like this, Candace. A lot of times, uh, bullying can lead kids down a bad path, and whoever your guardians are, your parents, they had to come up with a situation, a better situation for you. So for your protection, right? For your safety. And I know it sucks, but for your safety and your protection, I think that it's a blessing actually. Sometimes you just got to look at the brighter side of things, right? I don't know how old you are, how young you are, right? But bullying is a serious thing. And no one deserves to be bullied. Nobody. Nobody deserves to be bullied. And everybody deserves love and kindness and treated with dignity. Everybody deserves that. So look at it like this. Whoever your guardians are, your parents had to do what they had to do to protect your well-being. That's what they had to do. At the end of the day, your parents is looking out for you. The school is looking out for you. The principal's looking out for you. The counselors are looking out for you. They got to take care of the students. They got to take care of you. And I know it sucks. Trust me, I believe online school. I don't want to do that. I want to be in school. If I was still in school, I want to be amongst my friends. I want to be there going to school, like normal kids, right? But they got to get you in a situation where they can take care of you until they can mitigate that bullying situation. That's all it is. So I pray that you see that the brighter side of it. I pray that whoever's bullying those students, I pray that they come to their senses and stop bullying people, and we all live to see a better day. That's all I can say about that. But you're gonna be all right, Candace. You will be all right. Trust and believe that. Whatever that bully said to you, don't believe it. It ain't true. A lot of times bullies are very insecure and they like to project what's happening inside of them onto other people. So, but shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, y'all. It's been a great night. We've been live for a long time, V-Ray. We've been live for a long time. We covered many topics tonight. And all praises, all praises. Somebody said, use bullying to strengthen your resolve, grow stronger, learn to fight, uh, grow in maturity. Use this to strengthen yourself. F bullies. Love it, Caleb. Absolutely. Absolutely. Candace, are you still here, Candace? I hope you're reading that. I hope you're listening. Absolutely, Caleb. Absolutely. Okay, good deal. How old are you, Candace? What grade are you in? If you don't mind me asking, I'm just wondering, what grade are you in? How old are you? Okay, my son is actually 14. He'll be 15 in June, so you're around my son age. Okay, turning 16 next September. Okay, all right then, Candace. All right. Well, I hope we was able to comfort you tonight, give you some perspective on the online situation, and I hope you could take something away from what we said tonight. So much love to everybody, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the live. B-Ray, I know you just got here, but we've been live for like 200 minutes, and so we covered a plethora of topics. So where you going? I'm headed to North Dakota. I'm headed to West Fargo, North Dakota. West Fargo. Best wishes, Candace. Yes, indeed. You can be anything in life. The world is your oyster. So fun. Absolutely. All right. To everybody that's new, man, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, man. Come back and chop it up with me later on at another time, man. I go live every single day. If you don't see me live one day, best believe I'll be live the next day. So come back and see us, man, and talk politics with me, talk current news with me, whatever you want to talk about. Let's talk about it. So much love to everybody. God bless you all. Take care of yourself, and remember that it's free to be kind. So make sure you remember that next time. Love you all. Have a great night. Thank you.